welcome into this week's OEB Law Game of the Week. I'm Aaron Harvey, joined by the coach, James Gibson, and tonight we are in Clinton as Oak Ridge has hit the bus, and they are going to be taking on the Dragons tonight as we welcome in our title sponsor, OEB Law. OEB is an East Tennessee-based law firm with a national practice. OEB is led by Timothy G. Elrod. Elrod is from and still calls Anderson County his home. OEB is practiced in state, federal, and city courts. At OEB, they treat their clients like family and are proud to have earned a reputation as East Tennessee's premier personal injury law office. And that's why they've been voted Best of Knoxville for the past 3 years. I'm here with the coach, James Gibson. Coach, it's wet, but we're here.
Yeah, it really is. We've had some much-needed rain, so it might be kind of interesting tonight.
You know, we've been covering smaller schools, which is always great, but it's also fun to come out and cover the bigger classifications, too, and we get that tonight.
Yeah, I always love getting over here to the large classifications and see their new facilities, like Clinton's new indoor practice facility. It's top of the line over here, so I'm excited to watch Clinton play tonight.
Clinton's got a brand new head coach. This will be his first time coaching in this series, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, as well as going over other games going on in the area as well. But first, let's take a timeout. You're tuned in to the OEB Law Game of the Week.
I'm Ray Varner, and we've got the vehicles you need to make the most of this season.
Whether you're exploring the great outdoors or cheering on your favorite team, let's take your fall to the next level in this new 2020 Ford F-150, $24,990. New 2020 Ford Explorer XLT, $40,986. New 2020 Ford Fusion, $19,698. At Ray Varner Ford in Clinton, we are Ford Truck Country. Come and see us today. Shop RayVarnerFord.com.
OEB Law is excited to be a part of this year's football season. School spirit is at an all-time high. OEB Law is proud to give back and support our community. Come cheer on these great teams with us. And remember, if you've been injured or need legal help, OEB Law will be there for you. So visit wreckintoacheck.com or give us a call, 865-546-1111, and let OEB Law turn your wreck into a check.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Here is Helen Hammer.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low prices.
Race on down!
Welcome back into the OEB Law Game of the Week. I'm Aaron Harvey, joined by the coach, James Gibson, and we are at Clinton, where Oak Ridge is in town. The Wildcats going to battle the Dragons in an Anderson County rivalry. But first, let's talk about some teams in our area before we go over tonight's game. We got a local COVID alert, James Gibson. Coalfield had a game scheduled tonight against Gordonsville, and it was canceled. And Sunbright picked up a game against Cloudland. So the schedule changes. Just we see them week after week after week, and I love seeing some schools who normally wouldn't play each other pick up on the fly. I think that's really exciting, but kind of a bummer we don't get that Coalfield-Gordonsville game.
Yeah, Gordonsville is always tough and very similar to Coalfield athletically, year in, year out. So that should be an annual matchup. I'd love to see that every year.
Yeah, for sure, because it's always a game that could possibly end up happening in the playoffs, as it has before. Rockwood and Harriman, they're going to have their annual meeting tonight. What do you think about that one?
The 101st game these two have played, and it's going to be a good one, I believe. Harriman had better utilize its talents, its talent athletes that it has early, because Rockwood will try to control time possession. It's going to be a big game.
It's always a big game when those two teams get together. You know, a game I'm going to be watching for score updates tonight is Farragut at Maryville. People probably always expect Maryville to win every game, but this could really be a good one.
This is a big one that Maryville better be prepared for, because Farragut, they will be playing their best football. After Farragut head coach Ed Courtney announced he was battling cancer for the second time, this team has really surrounded their head coach and have been playing very hard. So keep an eye on that game as we move forward.
The whole entire area has been covered in rains from Hurricane Beta, and so the fields are wet. No threat of rain here tonight at Clinton, but as I said, field conditions are wet, as they should be on fields all across East Tennessee. As we get prepared for our OEB Law Game of the Week, OEB turns your wreck into a check, any wreck, big or small, and that can turn your life upside down with bills, inconvenience, lost wages, and stress. OEB understands and knows you need a full and fair compensation for those losses, and to help you get your life back to as normal as possible. So go to wreckintoacheck.com for more information on that, or call 865-546-1111. Again, we are at Clinton, and Oak Ridge is in town. We'll talk again about some games around the area, and then we'll get into our featured matchup tonight on the OEB Law Game of the Week.
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care. That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis Funeral Homes, people who care.
You won this year's chili cook-off. Our girls played in the softball finals last spring. You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
He remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Jeff, Mary, Dan, Sarah.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the Hot Water Wars. A Rinnai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do.
Feel the comforts of home with natural gas. Natural gas tankless water heaters cost almost 3 times less to operate annually than the electric models. Make the switch today.
Rinnai, hot water for all.
Hi, I'm Ray Varner, and we've got the vehicles you need to make the most of this season.
Whether you're exploring the great outdoors or cheering on your favorite team, let's take your fall to the next level in this new 2020 Ford F-150, $24,990. New 2020 Ford Explorer XLT, $40,986. New 2020 Ford Fusion, $19,698. At Ray Varner Ford in Clinton, we are Ford Truck Country. Come and see us today. Shop RayVarnerFord.com.
And welcome back into the OEB Law Game of the Week. I'm Aaron Harvey, joined by James Gibson as we go over some games in the area. You know, last week we saw Oliver Springs beat Greenback in what felt like it had a WWE babyface heel drama. And throughout the broadcast, we talked about the tough schedules those two teams had faced. Well, Greenback didn't want to ruin a theme, as the Cherokees were supposed to have a home game tonight against Lenoir City, but instead decided they wanted to take on a tougher opponent, COVID-19. And so that game got canceled, and Lenoir City picks up the victory. But I got to ask you, moving forward, and we'll tell you what Greenback has moving forward in just a second, but does that Oliver Springs game which led to Humble Pie, does that Humble Pie serve as like Popeye's spinach for this team moving forward?
I really think it does. I think it was a good opportunity for that young team to learn from, and the coaching staff. Let's be honest, that coaching staff is not used to losing. So them being, 0-4, 0-5 now, that's significant, and they're not going to be okay with that. So they're uncomfortable right now, and sometimes it's good to be uncomfortable.
And they do have one win by benefit of a COVID-19 victory, and now they have a COVID-19 not loss. It doesn't count as a loss, but it is a forfeit and gives Lenoir City a win. Greenback, they've got a week off now, so they've got this COVID-19. Next week was a scheduled bye. They'll have that one off unless they try to find a game to schedule and use this as a bye week. I don't know. You never know.
You never know.
With the way this season's worked out. But Greenback does have a game against Coalfield on October 2nd, and that will be a big chance for Greenback to maybe turn the season around, because Coalfield is likely looking at, well, let's just say they're probably the favorite to win the region championship now. The game between Coalfield and Oliver Springs will probably be the one that people will look at and say that's what's going to decide it.
That Coalfield game is huge, and that's an understatement for Greenback. They're going to be looking for that, and they're going to be well prepared for that matchup. So it's a little bit further down the road, and that'll give them opportunity to get healthy and to study the playbook a little bit, get the rust knocked off of them a little bit.
So this game tonight not being played also gives Lenoir City a week off to prepare for a trip to Walker Valley. That's who they will face next week. Midway's 3-1 on the season, and Greenway fans might be upset with me for saying that the Coalfield Oliver Springs game may determine a region champion, because Midway's 3-1, only losing to Rockwood in week 1, and they lost to Rockwood in double overtime on a 2-point conversion by the Tigers. Tellico Plains is 4-1 and hasn't allowed a point in the 4 wins, even though one of those wins was a COVID forfeit. That'll be an interesting game to watch tonight.
Yeah, Midway is really tough, and they can score in bunches. But Tellico is playing some great defense. I mean, some outstanding defense. So let's keep an eye on that one as we move forward with this game.
The Red Devils of Halls have but one blemish, and it's a COVID forfeit last week. They're on the road at Powell tonight. First off, Powell looks very, very impressive. Secondly, you think Halls will be able to challenge the Panthers?
I really think they will. They've got a good coaching system over there, and they're really turning things around. So I look for them to challenge Powell early, but then I expect Powell to kind of run away with it in the second half.
Taking a look at other games around the area, as we've seen that up on our screen, Anderson County's at Jefferson County tonight. We talked about the Harriman-Rockwood game. Kingston goes to Stone Memorial, and the Yellow Jackets undefeated on the year, looking to keep that ball rolling. And Stone Memorial struggled, so that'll be a good opportunity for a win.
This could be a huge season for Kingston moving forward.
Oliver Springs has the night off. Coalfield gets that victory over Gordonsville. Midway at Tellico Plains, like we told you. Oakdale goes to Red Boiling Springs, and that is another opportunity for Coach Voiles to get a win, as Red Boiling Springs typically they struggle in their football program.
Yeah, they're definitely up and down, and Oakdale's up this year. They've pushed big. They've got a big win over Wartburg and various other programs. They challenged Coalfield. So, yeah, that'll be a big one.
And we've got Cloudland at Sunbright. The schedule says Wartburg at Sunbright, but the Sunbright-Cloudland game was something that happened because of COVID-19. So with the nuttiness, it's really hard to keep up with who's playing, who's not playing because of COVID-19. So we talked about these teams in the area. We told you a little bit about how they're doing. Let's take a look at our Region 2 standings. So this is what we were talking about. Midway might be upset that I said that Coalfield Oliver Springs would determine the champion in that. And Midway might have something to say about that, however, as Midway sitting there 3-1 on the season overall, and Oliver Springs 1-4 on the season overall. But don't let that fool you. Oliver Springs is tough this year.
Yeah, you might want to take a look at the Oliver Springs schedule before you judge too harshly on that 1-4 record. But I tell you, I cannot wait for this Coalfield Midway matchup. The Midway Oliver Springs. There's a lot of good football in that Region 2 1A.
Yeah, always. It's always a tough one. Region 2 2A, Meigs County, they just keep it rolling along. They're 5-0 on the year. Oneida 4-0 on the year, and Tony Lambert's got his squad in Scott County looking great. Rockwood in action tonight against Harriman, like we said, 2-3 on the year. And Cumberland Gap and Wartburg bringing up that rear right there. And you've got 5 teams in that region, which means 4 teams get into the playoff, which means that Cumberland Gap-Wartburg game is going to be very important to see who gets into the playoffs.
Yeah, that game's been instrumental the last couple years, really deciding who's going to get into the playoffs. So it's been pretty big.
In 3A, your Region 2, Alcoa, of course, at the top of that list. Gatlinburg-Pittman, 4-1 on the year, 2-0 in that region. And then Kingston still sitting at 4-0. 2-0 in the region, followed by Pigeon Forge, Scott, Northview Academy, and Austin East. And in 4A, you've got East Hamilton so far.
Yeah.
Because East Hamilton and Andrews County are both tied in the region, so you look to the overall record to determine who you put first right there. And, of course, Anderson County 3-2 with just a brutal schedule. But, again, that team the Mavericks are really good this year.
Yeah, they really are. And, like I said, I predicted them to win on out.
And so we will get prepared to take a moment of silence and listen to our national anthem as performed by the Clinton High School Marching Band. And that is our national anthem performed by Clinton High School's marching band. So we've got Clinton and Oak Ridge coming up as we finish up these standings. In 5A, you got Powell sitting up top at 5-0, tied with Knox West also at 5-0 and 2-0 in the region. West really good this season. They played Oak Ridge last week and defeated them 22-7. So that West and Powell game, that will be a really, really fun one.
Yeah, that'll be one of the better games in this whole state of Tennessee that night. So keep an eye on that one, because I tell you, that'll be one you want to watch.
And, of course, this is the region that we are covering tonight, as Oak Ridge is currently tied with Fulton in that third spot, followed by Carnes and Clinton. Clinton, with a brand-new coach this year, is sitting at 0-3 overall, and this is the first region game for the Dragons tonight.
Pretty big test. Good coaching staff came in here, and they've done a lot of good and getting the indoor facility finished, and it's going to be a great game.
I think so as well. As you see, Coach Darrell Keith in his first season, coming over from Todd County, Kentucky last season. The 1992 state football runner-up was this Clinton Dragons team, and not had a lot of success in this series, though, and we'll talk about that. when we get back. Oak Ridge is at Clinton in your OEB Law Game of the Week.
OEB Law is excited to be a part of this year's football season. School spirit is at an all-time high. OEB Law is proud to give back and support our community. Come cheer on these great teams with us. And remember, if you've been injured or need legal help, OEB Law will be there for you. So visit wreckintoacheck.com or give us a call, 865-546-1111, and let OEB Law turn your wreck into a check.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Here is Helen Hammer.
Thank you, Mr. Walker.
A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low prices.
Race on down!
And welcome back into your OEB Law Game of the Week. At OEB, their clients are essential to them, so while other businesses were shutting down because of COVID-19, OEB Law took the necessary precautions in order to safely remain open and available for their clients and community. They social distanced themselves while in and around the office. They provided hand sanitizer dispensers at doorways. Face masks were handmade, provided by Tim Elrod's mother. They utilized Facebook Live to let the community know that they were there for them, and that's what OEB Law does. For more information on them, go to wreckintoacheck.com or give the phone call, 865-546-1111. So, Clinton coach Darrell Keith walked into pretty much an impossible situation. He moved Clinton to replace Randy McCamey, who left the program after a 2-8 regular season finish. Not only did he need to rebuild, but Clinton has a monster of a schedule and region, as you have seen. Not only is that true, but he was limited to what he could do in preseason because of COVID-19. If that's you and not him, what goes through your mind?
Well, that's a difficult question there, but he's been learning on the fly as well, because let me tell you, there is a major difference in Kentucky high school football and Tennessee high school football. Not even on the same scale with talent. And then you add in COVID-19. So it's been extremely hard for his transition, I'm sure.
Oak Ridge is one of those teams that will always have high expectations based on the history of the Wildcat program. Coach Joe Gaddis seems to always have Oak Ridge in a pretty solid spot. A few bumps early in the season in the absence of star running back Kendall Jackson, and Oak Ridge is battling to keep a winning record. How would you assess Oak Ridge's season so far?
Well, it's not been the best start that many thought and even more wanted, but it's just one of those years so far. So injuries have had and some bad bounces really have caused part of the issues, but they look to right some of those wrongs here tonight. Oak Ridge will bounce back very strong.
They'll have a chance to go 500 tonight if they can defeat this Clinton Dragon team. These teams have shared a county and a decent history of playing each other, but Clinton's been dominated in this series, 46-12. Last year, though, Coach McCamey's Dragons played a very good OR team tough, 27-14. You'll see a lot of the same players on the field tonight. Clinton wants to win, and this would make a huge statement. But Could there be a moral victory to be had here if the Dragons don't win but play tough?
Simply put, yes. You never want to admit it, but let's face it, if Clinton can keep it close, that will make a lot more believers out of some of these Clinton fans.
Sometimes rain is said to be a great equalizer. Do you believe that could be a matter tonight with the wet field?
It can be, and you might have some costly turnovers from this wet field, so keep an eye on it.
You have to start the climb somewhere, and Coach Keith knows that. Clinton has quite an uphill battle tonight. What are the keys for both teams?
Clinton, you've got to force turnovers and limit explosive plays by the Oak Ridge offense and play mistake-free football. Oak Ridge, you got to play smart football, keep it simple, and control the line of scrimmage.
Oak Ridge last week dropped their game against West 22-7. Just couldn't get anything going on offense as starting quarterback Mitchell Gibbons threw 3 interceptions. And that star tailback, Kendall Jackson, that we talked about, only had 4 yards on 10 carries. So, I mean, that's a rough night for him.
Extremely rough. So let's see if they can bounce back here tonight.
Oak Ridge finished negative rushing yards last week as well, so they'll try to get that going. Tonight for Clinton, their star running back to start the season, Eli Deschamps, will not play because of a stress fracture, so Clinton having to do some adjustments too. Trent Thackerson was their starting quarterback to start the season, but I believe he'll move to tailback, and you will see Coach Keith's son, Joshua, take the reins at quarterback as we see the coin toss. Clinton wins, and they're going to kick. So the Dragons want to defer to the second half. And so we'll get to see Gibbons and Jackson on offense to start this football game.
Oak Ridge will be receiving at the scoreboard end of the field.
All right. So Clinton Oak Ridge, as we mentioned, is a series that has been dominated by Oak Ridge, but Clinton has played this Wildcat team tough a couple times in the last few years.
Yeah, you can't touch enough on this rivalry. You're talking these kids have played each other for years. Just going to school just down the road, so they've played each other for years, and they're very familiar with each other. So, pretty exciting game here tonight.
And it's also one of those situations where you get two schools that are this close together, then you have, for whatever reason, people move houses. Their parents move to get jobs and things like that. So you might see some of these Clinton players that used to play in the Oak Ridge City system, or you might see some of the Oak Ridge players who maybe used to play in Clinton Little League and things like that, so they could be very well familiar with each other. Really excited to get this one kicked off in just a moment with our Davis Funeral Home kickoff. Davis Funeral Home with 2 locations in Wartburg and Harriman. Call 882-2000 or 346-2011. So for Clinton, it is Ryan Bradley, and this is going out of bounds. Was that a possible attempt of an onside?
It sure looked it, and why not? You have nothing to lose, so be aggressive, and you might get some lucky bounces.
All right.
Oak Ridge will put the ball in play at the point it went out of bounds.
So that is a penalty because the ball was kicked out of bounds. Oak Ridge will, instead of making Clinton re-kick, they will take the football. And we'll start this Sexton Automotive drive at the 48-yard line. So great field position for this very first Hammers 1st and 10 of the game.
Quarterback Mitchell Gibbons barks some orders.
Gibbons lines up in a pistol set. He's got a wing to his left that he puts in motion. Handoff goes to Jackson. Jackson tries to find the outside. Flags fly in the air, and Jackson's gobbled up and dropped after a loss of 3.
Really good secure tackle by the cornerback of Clinton coming up and not allowing him to get outside of him. So really good job by him and good secure tackle.
And Oak Ridge is called for a hold. I do see 2 flags, though, so I'll have to figure out which one accurately represents where the hold took place. And no, it doesn't matter because Clinton will take the 3-yard loss, decline the penalty, and make this one 2nd and 13. You like that call?
That's a good call by Oak Ridge. Pretty good job defensively by Clinton coming up and putting a hat on a hat and shedding some blockers. Unfortunate holding call. It was plain as day on the replay. He was definitely holding on the play.
Gibbons fakes a handoff to Jackson, rolls to his left, finds a man open, and for no gain this time, it's Cole Adams. And Adams maybe picks up a yard on that reception. It will be 3rd and 12. So far, Clinton responding on defense.
Yeah, they're really fired up. They're into this game emotionally. And
you see on the Jeff Cole replay.
Trent Harrell on the stop for the Dragons brings up 3rd down.
Oak Ridge trying to get east and west, take advantage of their speed on the outside. Got one-on-one coverage down here.
And that's Jonathan Stewart, a senior for this team. But instead, Jackson gets the carry, moving up the middle, bounces it outside, and picks up 2 yards before he's dropped. Clinton has seemingly held Oak Ridge to a 3-and-out to start this game.
Yeah, Clinton is flying around. They're really emotionally invested in this game, and that first series was you couldn't ask for anything better, really.
As we see on the Jeff Cole replay, Jackson started up the middle. Didn't have anything there, so he tried bouncing it out. Didn't have anything there either. And Oak Ridge will line up with 2 punters. This is an interesting formation. Rugby-style punt is an end-over-ender, and Clinton lets it roll, and it gets a great Oak Ridge roll before it's down at the 15-yard line, and that's where Clinton will begin their first Sexton Automotive drive.
Really interesting formation there on the punt by Oak Ridge. I've never seen that before.
Sexton Automotive, located on the Oak Ridge Turnpike. Get your next in at Sexton. So we got a Hammers 1st and 10 for Clinton. And it is Joshua Keith, the freshman, the coach's son, taking the snap, the shotgun snap, drops back, whips this one out to the outside, and it is dropped.
He's got a really strong arm. The ball kind of flew out of his hand a lot faster than I would have thought.
Yeah, Keith is expected to be a college prospect by the time he becomes a senior. And Nate Murphy just not able to reel that one in, as we saw on the Jeff Cole replay. 3 wide out to the left, and Keith cannot handle it. He has to pick it up, tries to get out of the end zone, does, and gets out to maybe the 5-yard line. That is a 10-yard loss, and that will bring up 3rd and 20 for the Dragons. Just couldn't handle the snap.
Yeah, it hit him right in the hands, too. And that could be part of the jitters of being a freshman coming out here against a big school like Oak Ridge, your big rival. So, yeah, that could be part of that.
Officially placed the ball between the 5 and 6. 2 wideouts either side for Keith.
You've got to get rid of the ball quickly.
Thackerson also in the backfield, and this pass is high but complete. Comes out to Nate Murphy, and Murphy is run out of bounds, well shy of the first down, and Clinton will have to punt this one away.
Threw the ball just a little high, made the wide receiver jump for it, which gave Oak Ridge an opportunity to make up some ground and get a tackle. Now, this is a dangerous situation here. You're punting from your own end zone. You don't have much room. Oak Ridge can definitely send some pressure here.
It's Chase Golden to punt for Clinton, and this one is ugly. Gets out to the 28-yard line, and that's where Oak Ridge will have a Hammers 1st and 10 to begin their Sexton Automotive drive.
Yeah, it looks like he just missed it right off the side of his foot. Let's see here on the replay. He dropped the ball early, and it moved on him.
And that was a low punt. Almost hit his lineman in the head, which could have been completely disastrous. Thanks to that Jeff Cole replay, we got a really good look at that one.
Well, Oak Ridge definitely has some good field position right now.
Gibbons back into the pistol. Got a wing back to his left. Two wide outs to his right. Gibbons, somebody moved, and the Wildcats will back up 5 yards here. No, it was on Clinton. I didn't see it.
Somebody must have lined up offsides or something.
Hey, Jeff Cole, what happened? I guess that's what it was. Somebody lined up offsides. And now we've got another flag on the play. Dead ball, offsides on Clinton. So Oak Ridge.
Back-to-back offsides.
Yeah, Oak Ridge has a Hammers 1st and 10 that they earned from a Hammers 1st and 5.
Well, Clinton has definitely gave them an opportunity here to punch this in.
All right, let's see if we can get a play off. We do. Gibbons quickly gets it out to his wide out, starting from his right, makes his way to his left, and for Oak Ridge, that's Jalen Hayward.
And he's definitely got some wiggle to him. 5'5", 140 pounds. Watching what he does when he gets the ball in his hands. It's hard to catch this guy with your head down. Very talented.
Stopped around the 15-yard line. Pickup of 3 brings up 2nd and a short 7. Now Gibbons sends 2 wide outs to his left. And there's a fumble on the play, and Gibbons has to fall on it. I'm not sure what happened there. So far, both of these teams playing a sloppy ball game.
Gibbons falls on the ball for a loss.
It looked like it was just a poor snap by the center there. He didn't quite get it up to the quarterback. Just kind of rolled it back to him.
So a loss on the play. Takes the ball back to the original line of scrimmage and makes it a 3rd and 10. Another pistol. Man in motion, that's Hayward. And now Gibbons going to fire towards the corner of the end zone. That pass is almost complete. It was almost a one-handed grab by Brandon Hayward.
Wow. Impressive effort nonetheless, but if he was able to pull that in, we're submitting that to SportsCenter. One-on-one coverage, quarterback sees it, throws it up, 50-50 ball.
Ooh.
And he almost pulls that in, guys.
So it's 4th and 10 where Oak Ridge is. They will go for it on 4th down. So Gibbons gets his team to the line. Got an H-back lined up to his left. Sends a man in motion. And now Gibbons rolls to his right. Looks for a man over the middle. That pass is picked off by Clinton, and that is a touchback. And getting the interception is Andy King, who also plays wide receiver on this team.
Really good job tracking the quarterback's eyes the whole time. Led him straight to the football where he was able to easily pick it off for an interception. Great job by the defensive back.
Let's look at this one again as Gibbons throws this one he just threw it high.
He did. He did. The safety played center field the whole time. read the quarterback's eyes and led him right to the promised land.
It's not a bad thing that you've got your junior wideout playing safety.
No, it definitely helps. It's like playing center field in baseball. You're back there to catch everything.
So after that interception, Clinton takes over this Sexton Automotive drive at the 20-yard line, and we've got a timeout on the field. No, we have a flag because we have a delay of game.
Is that 3 penalties so far, Clinton? I believe so.
The 2 offside penalties and this delay of game penalty.
And that was part of the keys to success for Clinton tonight.
1st and 15. And Keith has a low snap. He has to pick it up and try to get what he can, and not much there. But there is a flag on the far side of the field. So the officials will discuss what this flag may be. I'm thinking maybe an illegal shift.
Illegal shift against the drive.
Ding. And that's exactly what it is. But Oak Ridge is going to decline that penalty because it wasn't a great play for Clinton. So now we'll have a second down as Joshua Keith, the freshman, leads his team up to the line. Will hand the football off to his tailback. And we've got another flag.
Moody on the carry, and there is a flag.
It's been a while since I've seen this many penalties this quickly in a ball game.
And this is a holding on Clinton, so Clinton just continues to go backwards. Connor Moody was in the backfield to get that carry for Clinton.
Trips to the far side of the field.
So that's the second penalty in a row that Oak Ridge will decline. And that will force Clinton into a 3rd and 10. Here's a snap. Keith looks, has nowhere to go with the football, tucks it and runs, and another flag comes out. King made it to the 20-yard line, which is the original line of scrimmage. We've got a personal foul, a face mask on Oak Ridge. That's a 15-yard penalty. So Clinton will get a Hammers 1st and 10 off of a penalty.
Wow.
Look at this Jeff Cole replay. See if we can find it.
Nothing's there. He tries to tuck and run and pick up what he can. It looks like one of the big guys grabbed that face mask.
All right, we've got a Hammers 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 35. Quickly, here's Keith. Handoff up the middle. And with some running room is Moody. Moody crosses the 40, gets down to the 42-yard line. Pickup of 7 will bring up 2nd and 3.
Moody's a pretty good-looking little running back for Clinton. He got some pretty good field vision. He did a good hurdle there. I've saw him do some good things in the blocking game as well.
And here's Moody again, looks for some running room, very patient. Crosses the 45 and is down at the 47, keeps those sticks moving. It will bring up another Hammers 1st and 10, and Clinton not wanting another delay of game penalty goes tempo here a little bit.
Trying to get him to calm down a little bit, get him to go out there and just play some football.
2 wideouts either side for Keith. Moody in the backfield to his right. And Moody with another handoff, and this time he's met in the middle and dropped. Getting there first for Oak Ridge was Jacob Burvin.
Looked like a missed blocking assignment up front with the Clinton offensive line. There was just too many Oak Ridge Wildcats busting through the line of scrimmage. Looked like a linebacker blitz, actually.
Loss of 2 will bring up 2nd and 12 for the Dragons. And Keith with a hard count before he gets the call from the sidelines. And Oak Ridge was bringing pressure off the right side before another flag came out.
Looked like a Clinton wide receiver moved early.
That's exactly what happened. A loss of 5 yards will bring up 2nd and 17. Clinton's gone backwards a bunch.
Yeah, Kendall Jackson looked like he might have moved early.
Well, that would have been a penalty on Oak Ridge. I think you mean Jeremiah Blovitt. But here, Clinton trying to make up some ground and find the outside. Doesn't happen.
Clinton staying with the tempo.
Clinton back up quickly to the line. Keith drops back to pass. Fires it off to Lucas. Lucas is spun and dropped by Oak Ridge's Jaden Elam.
It looked like he was anticipating contact a little early there. You see here, catches it and kind of.
Oh yeah.
He kind of ducks down into it a little bit there. You can tell they've probably played a tough schedule so far.
I guess that's one way to. Describe it. Preston Turner back deep to receive a punt. And this one's away. That's a lot better than the first one. An end over ender, lands at the 29, but takes an Oak Ridge bounce and is downed at the 35-yard line, which is where Oak Ridge will begin this Sexton Automotive drive with 3:37 left to go in the first quarter.
You see here on the replay, he drops that football just a little bit early, which lets it move on him, and that's why he's not getting a great punt on it.
Is that why I was never good at punting? I was always dropping the ball early.
He's dropping it around your head, kicking it backwards.
Only on a trampoline.
All right, here we go. Oak Ridge coming out in the same formations.
Gibbons. Handoff, Jackson. Jackson finds running room up the middle, across the 45, down to the 49-yard line. Pickup of 14 will bring up another Hammers 1st and 10.
Let me get this right this time. Kendall Jackson for Oak Ridge, one of the better running backs in all of East Tennessee. We've watched him for a couple years now. He's the real deal, guys. He's 6 foot, 195 pounds, and he's all man, and he runs like it. So I think you could see this guy playing at the next level.
Same formation. Gibbons pitches out to the left to Jackson. Jackson looking upfield, has a lot of running room, cuts it back, and is finally driven down at around the 32-yard line and out of bounds, and we might have a scuffle. We do have a scuffle. As flags are flying, that's going to be a personal foul. As for Clinton, Wesley Phillips was over there in a whole pack of Wildcats. I wouldn't want to be in a pack of house cats, let alone a bunch of Oak Ridge football players.
Emotions are riding high. Good little pitch play, running on the outside. Good field vision, making people miss. Plants that foot. Gets back around outside. Number 6 does a really good job pushing him out of bounds, and then he holds on just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And emotions start getting out of control.
Yeah, that was not the right thing to do. Officials are still talking about it. I guess they got to figure out who did what first. Did you see anything extra on that Jeff Cole replay?
Nah, just some mouthing going back and forth. It's emotions. It's high school football. It's Friday night. Let them play.
Kendall Jackson, does he remind you of anybody, the way he runs?
Well, a very good running back, that's who. And I'll tell you, his body type doesn't, but I'll tell you who he kind of reminds me of, and that's a little bit of Jalen Hurd. When he goes on the outside run, he really does a good job planting that foot, and he kind of floats. He's got a very long stride. He's a very talented football player, and I'm telling you, keep an eye on him. He can definitely get to the next level if he pushes himself.
officials taking a long time and they're writing things down.
Well, they want to get this right. It sounds like they're going to, or it looks like they're going to call some sort of a personal foul, and they want to make sure they get their correct numbers. Beautiful night here tonight, 65 degrees. The rain has finally dissipated. The field is a little moist, as you see. We've had a couple little fumbles on the ground here, but what a crowd here tonight, and it's just an outstanding atmosphere.
You know who he kind of reminds me of, just watching him run? Cordero Patterson.
Yeah, very similar. Good comparison there. Cordero Patterson-like.
Yeah.
Except 6 foot, 195.
While we've got an extended moment here, we're going to take an opportunity to talk to Tim Elrod of OEB Law. Welcome in again to tonight's broadcast, Mr. Elrod.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going quite well. You're not that far from home.
No, I'm about 5 minutes from here. I was born and raised here in Anderson County, and went to school for a while at Clinton, troubled youth. So went to several schools during my youth, but it's good to be back here tonight. Clinton has come out, Oak Ridge has come out, and we've got a pretty good ball game, I think.
Now, being a troubled youth, does that influence you to become an attorney?
It absolutely is one of the things that drives me. It's one of the reasons I like to give back to high school football is, it was meaningful to me. Whether you're a student in the student section or you're in the band or you're a cheerleader, dance team, whatever it is, or just being one of the trainers on the team or, helping out in the concession stand. All those things, all those people, they love football. They love high school football, and I try to, help out and make it as meaningful as possible. And if, I do it through a donation, and happy to do that, and did it tonight. So.
Yeah, I always like trying to find out why people tick the way that they do. So it's an interesting note to know that you care about kids and you care about these young people, the future adults of our country, because it's something that you can relate to, and you know how much maybe some good influences in your life allowed you to be in this position. And so
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's Fox and Farley's field. And I grew up with Mike Farley, know him well, good friend of mine even today. Bruce Fox, great man, great lawyer, good firm. They've helped out this community for a long time, and, they have an influence on me coming up. Just knowing everybody in the community is pretty special.
So we're trying to figure out, they threw these flags, they wrote some stuff down. It looks like we might get some ejections right here. Do they need to call OEB Law after this game to maybe get reinstated if they're thrown out?
Well, we do turn wrecks into checks. That's what we're known for, no doubt about that. But in this situation, I think I saw that ref. Wasn't he up at Campbell County last night? I think he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I recognized him. He didn't throw as many flags last night. Maybe it was the rain.
This one has been a sloppy one, and we're about to find out what this call finally is. So since you said that you grew up in this area, these two teams right here, Oak Ridge, Clinton, it's been dominated this series by Oak Ridge, but this is a bitter rivalry, isn't it?
It's absolutely bitter. You can ask anybody in either Oak Ridge or Clinton or the surrounding communities, this is the game. This is the big rivalry game. We have a rivalry game, obviously, at Anderson County with Clinton. Not so strongly. We've had some great matches with Oak Ridge. But Clinton and Oak Ridge that's a traditional rivalry, and it's been around for a very, very long time. So, these kids, Clinton tonight, despite all the penalties, you can tell their defense is fired up. Their heart is in this game. They expect to win this game, and you can tell it. They've had a lot of miscues on offense, but hey, the flags are keeping it in the middle of the field at least, and that interception was huge by Clinton. So what's the call here?
We've got an unsportsmanlike conduct on Clinton and 2 personal fouls on Oak Ridge. So I said that backwards. We've got an unsportsmanlike conduct on Oak Ridge and 2 personal fouls on Clinton. So the net on that is plus 15 for Oak Ridge. So the Sticks move forward. It is a Hammers 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line of Clinton. And here we are again. Oak Ridge is in scoring position, and Tim Elrod is on this broadcast with us. This always happens.
Well, I've seen Kendall Jackson on Rivalry Thursday. Outstanding player. They're probably going to play with a little fire here.
And we've got another flag.
If we can avoid the flags.
And this time I think it might have been Jackson that moved early.
Yeah, but I like the way Clinton is playing with fire in their belly tonight. No doubt about it. Their defense is there for them. I think if they get it straightened up on offense, they could put some points on the board. But, how long can they sustain that? That's the question.
The scout that I've got on first-year head coach Darrell Keith is that he is a no-nonsense military type of person. And so, one of the things that he will want to instill in his team is a discipline to avoid these flags. And so the Dragons letting him down tonight. But both teams are getting penalized.
They're playing with they're playing with a lot of emotion.
Gibbons drops back to pass, rolls to his right, looks, has a man open, and making a man miss, getting to the 10 and being flipped.
Wow, highlight.
That was Preston Turner. And there's another flag on the play.
Well, my goodness.
Hoping we can be able to see that on a Jeff Cole replay again in just a second and see how Turner got upended there. Here it is. Gibbons had to escape the pocket, got it out. There's Turner, does a great job missing that first tackle, and then lucky he's wearing a helmet. All right. And we've got an ineligible man downfield and an unsportsmanlike conduct on Oak Ridge. So you've got a 5-yard penalty, and then they will mark off a 15-yard penalty. And so that is essentially a negative 20 play, but it's still Hammers first down, but it is a Hammers first and 30. Gracious.
Yeah,
it's 40. It's 49. Gotta go to the
I'm going to have to break out my algebra book to keep doing the first downs and stuff. It's incredible math.
This might be 35. I believe this is a Hammers first and 35. So, that being the case, Mr. Elrod, you might not get to see a touchdown after all.
Let's see.
Handoff goes to Jackson. Jackson has to bounce it around outside. Goes to spin, cannot, because Connor Moody is there to bring Jackson down around the line of scrimmage.
Woo. That's the two best players right there, apparently.
Yeah, and you were talking about the Clinton players fired up, but this Clinton crowd is also fired up.
They're always fired up. They support the Dragons tremendously. They support their new coach. I got to talk to him before the game, and he is a no-nonsense guy. Maybe Oak Ridge can get something here.
3rd and 31, or 2nd and 31. Gibbons fires it incomplete, trying to hit Brandon Hayward.
Yeah, but Coach Keith, he's going to be an outstanding coach here. I think they need to give him time. He's got a plan. I believe that. I got to talk with him when we made our donation today, and he's a big dude. He's huge.
You can tell it from up here. When COVID-19 happened, you guys made the necessary changes to make sure that your life could continue so that you could serve your clients, but it messed the world of high school football, well, really all sports up. As here's Jackson on a toss sweep, gets upended and down to the 35-yard line. Got to be well shy of the first down, and we've got The back judge was knocked down.
Well, I missed that, but he clobbered him. Maybe he'll keep his flag in his pants or something. I don't know. We want to see football. We don't want to see no more flags.
Somebody hit him and said, Tony sent me.
Where's the flag on that?
Keep the flag in your pocket. Oh, goodness. So, Coach Keith walks into a really tough situation at Clinton.
Yeah, I love those rugby-style kicks. They get so much spin on them.
And this punt, rolls and is downed inside the 2-yard line, and that's where Clinton will take over for their Sexton Automotive drive. Great play.
This drive could be a defining drive for Clinton. They're going to have to drive the field. They've got a whole quarter to do it. Maybe they can put their horses on the field and let them run.
So the first quarter ends with a scoreless game here as we were visited by Tim Elrod of OEB Law. Thank you for everything that you do for us.
Always good. Appreciate you guys. You guys do a heck of a job. Keep doing it. I love to support you all and love the partnership and the camaraderie, and look forward to this for many, many years to come.
We're very happy to be a part of it as well. Tim Elrod of OEB Law.
All right.
Part of this year's football season, school spirit is at an all-time high. OEB Law is proud to give back and support our community. Come cheer on these great teams with us. And remember, if you've been injured or need legal help, OEB Law will be there for you. So visit rackintoacheck.com or give us a call, 865-546-1111, and let OEB Law turn your wreck into a check.
Back at your OEB Law game of the week as we get prepared to start this second quarter. Had an opportunity, someone did, to get some cash there on a kick. As that first quarter came to an end, a really sloppy first quarter. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors for tonight's game, including Ancoria, and that's the Anderson County Public Defender. Ann was born and raised in Anderson County, graduated from Oak Ridge High School, and also Tim Shelton, Anderson County Register of Deeds, serving the citizens of Anderson County since 2002. So Clinton takes over on the 2-yard line. Here's Keith. Handoff up the middle, goes to Moody.
Moody on the carry.
And Moody gets out to the 6-yard line, just outside the 5. And again, Clinton is quickly coming up to the line of scrimmage. 3 wideouts to the left. Keith takes the snap, pitch to Moody. Moody moves to his left, gets up to about the 8-yard line.
Good little speed option out of the Tim personnel. Came to the trip side, but Oak Ridge's DBs are really, really fast. They're able to close ground quickly.
And I don't think that was Moody, actually. That looked like Brandon Holyfield, a sophomore running back on this Clinton team. So we've got a 3rd and 4 for Clinton. 3 wideouts to the near side. Man in motion now. That's Holyfield. And
Holyfield on the carry.
And again, Holyfield gets the carry up the middle.
Gully once again on the stop. 3rd down.
So he wasn't the man in motion. And Clinton is just shy of the first down.
And they've kept it simple this whole drive. They've kept trips to the right side of the formation the entire time, haven't changed anything. So they're keeping it simple for the freshman quarterback.
Clinton will have 4th and short when we get back. Welcome back to your OEB Law Game of the Week as Clinton will face a 4th and short. This game is brought to you by David Clark, Anderson County District Attorney General, proud supporter of high school football, and Rick Chin, which currently serves as the City of Oak Ridge Mayor Pro Tem. Rick Chin, a proud sponsor of tonight's game. What do you think Clinton's going to do right here, faced with this 4th and short?
Well, it's untelling. It's a rivalry. You have nothing to lose, so you play to win. But, normally I'd like to see him kick here, but looks like they're going to go for it, or they're going to try a very good hard count.
They are going to go for it. Moody up the middle, crosses the 10-yard line.
Moody on the carry.
I believe he's got that first down.
Jaden Edom on the stop for Oak Ridge.
That is a gutsy call for Clinton, and they do
And it paid
pick up
off
the
that.
Hammers 1st and 10. Look at this Jeff Cole replay.
Moody getting low, staying to the ground, and fell forward.
Well, he got forward progress anyway. Yeah. The way he rolled off his tacklers just kept his feet moving.
Huge for Clinton.
Now look at this formation for Clinton. These 2 wide receivers way wide out.
Yeah, they've been doing that all night and trying to get the Oak Ridge defensive backs in an awkward position. Pretty interesting.
So quickly to the line. Here's Keith. Keith going to run the option, pitches it to Moody. Moody crosses the 15 and is run out of bounds. They're going to give him the 16-yard line.
They like that speed option play with the quarterback. What I don't like about the speed option is your wide receivers have got to block. And if they don't, that's what happens. So the wide receivers got to stick with their blocks a little bit longer.
Pick up a 3 will bring up 2nd and 7. And Clinton again utilizing a fast pace. Keith changing the play. And Keith is going to be gobbled up and swallowed at the 8-yard line. Oak Ridge brought a blitz off the edge. And Keith, the right-handed quarterback, or the left-handed quarterback.
Yeah, they rushed 6 defenders that time, 2 outside linebackers from the outside. And the young quarterback wasn't able to recognize that, step up in the pocket, and release the football.
So a loss of about 7 brings up 3rd and 14. Keith looks, now sets up the wide receiver screen, and Oak Ridge was ready for it.
Yeah, Oak Ridge defense is really flying around to the football, as you see here on the replay. They recognize he tries to look them off, throws to the opposite way, and Oak Ridge is flying to the football. So defensively, Oak Ridge is playing very well so far.
And I was right. Keith is a right-handed quarterback. I don't know why I questioned myself. It's a problem of mine. I lack confidence.
Now, let's see what happens on this punt.
Gets it away. Wobbly. Turns over. And the ball is down by Clinton at the 50-yard line. The line of scrimmage was the 17. So that is a 33-yard punt. And Oak Ridge will take over on this Sexton Automotive drive at midfield.
Some of the worst field position Oak Ridge has had so far.
And now a sideline warning has been called against Clinton as, Oak Ridge has had excellent field position so far tonight. Not been able to capitalize on it. Got close, but had a lot of penalties. So Hammers 1st and 10 here. Looks like an H-back lined up to the left. Pistol set for Gibbons. Gibbons takes a snap, drops back to pass, has a man open, and it's caught at the Clinton 43-yard line. And that's where Brandon Hayward is going to be dropped down.
I tell you, I really like this Brandon Hayward. He's a 9th grader, 5'10", 160 pounds, and he's got some really good hands. And for a 9th grader to be starting for Oak Ridge, that tells you about all you need to know.
That's a good point. Gibbons again, this time a quick pitch out to Jackson. Jackson just bounces through tacklers.
Jackson on the pitch.
Don't blink or you're going to miss the tackle if you're a defensive back. As Jackson gets up to the 35-yard line, that will be enough for another Hammers 1st and 10.
Trent Harrell on the stop. First down, Oak Ridge.
He's so smooth. He's so smooth while he's running. His stride is long. And I really like your comparison that you mentioned earlier about Daryl Patterson, former Tennessee Vol, Minnesota Viking, and various other places.
Gibbons drops back to pass quickly, lets it fly. That pass is completed at the 30, making his way towards the middle of the field for Oak Ridge is Hayward again. And Hayward is finally brought down by Jackson West.
They like the matchup over here. Obviously, it's like the 3rd time they've threw this ball, exact same play. Throw him the ball, let him make someone miss, and pick up a good game. Easy play.
Freshman making plays on that Jeff Cole replay. Gibbons pitches out to Jackson, going to the right this time. Jackson meets some Dragons, gets by Dragons, and is finally tripped up and brought down. My goodness. That, we'll have to wait and see where they mark this down, but it doesn't look like he really went far. But he's going to be 2 yards shy of a first down. He picked up 8 yards on that.
Yeah, like you said, he's smooth.
So here's Gibbons again. He will reset, changes his play, tells Jackson what it is, tells his line. Snap, Jackson up the middle. Jackson follows his lineman and then falls down at about the 7-yard line. We're going to have a Hammers 1st and goal.
Good lead block that time by Darren Osborne, the 11th grader, 6'1", 195 pound. Did a really good job of getting upfield there. I tell you, he looks bigger than 195 pounds. Good block again.
And here's Jackson making his way into the end zone. And there it is. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. And that is a Tim Shelton touchdown. Oak Ridge Register of Deeds, or Anderson County Register of Deeds, I should say.
Good series for Oak Ridge. No mental mistakes. Good, smooth football. Give it to Mr. Jackson and let him do the rest.
And the extra point is up and through the uprights. Good by Camden Malcody.
Extra point is good.
And so Oak Ridge leads this one 7-0 with 6:10 left to play in the second quarter.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Here.
Oak Ridge gets in the end zone with that Tim Shelton touchdown, leads this one 7-0. And it took until 6:10 remaining in the second quarter, but finally we got some points on the board, and now Oak Ridge will set up for a Davis Funeral Home kickoff. Davis Funeral Home with 2 locations in Harriman and Wartburg. Go to davisfuneralhomes.com. And now Oak Ridge looks like they're going to kick it short with Tyler Dunham. Let's see. Nope. It's a great kick. Fair catch is called for and made at the 23-yard line, it looked like. Seeing where they spot that, but wow, how about that kickoff? Takes one step.
Oak Ridge has always got some really special kickers. I mean, as far back as I can remember, they've always had just dominant kicking over here in Anderson County.
And you can see on the screen there.
Look at the height he got on that.
Our Jeff Cole replay, and fair catch was made, and the ball is actually spotted at the 24-yard line. So if you're Oak Ridge, you don't lose anything there, really. That 24-yard line is not really great starting position. It's about average, I would say. As Clinton begins this Sexton automotive drive. Get your next in at Sexton. And here is Keith. Keith is going to lose just a couple yards, but is that one of those that you would call a coverage sack?
Yeah, he tried to run outside and just fell under the pressure. There was nobody out there. It looked like the offensive line missed a key block right there, and that made him bounce it back inside where big number 59 of Oak Ridge was able to get the sack.
And Moody now, the handoff up the middle, gets across the 20 down to about the 23-yard line, and we've got flag on the play.
Looks like movement.
One of those, it's in the area of, I would say, illegal motion or illegal shift. And that's what it is, an illegal shift.
Illegal shift against the Dragons.
And if Oak Ridge accepts this penalty, which they will, it will bring up 2nd and 17. Here's Keith. Handoff. And this time it's Hollyfield up the middle. Brought down at the 17-yard line. No gain on the play. Clinton.
And I tell you, if you see there on the replay, Trey Rowe, the 12th grader, 5'10", 195, he's who made that play. He came in there and took out that pulling guard, sacrificed himself to make the play. And that's a big-time play. That's heads up by the senior.
So here's Henry facing a 3rd and about 16. Drops back to pass. Has to step up in the pocket. He's going to tuck it and run, and the ball's on the ground. It's scooped up and taken back the other way to the 10-yard line and down to about the 6. And for Oak Ridge, that is Brian Kelly.
The sophomore coming up big. Good hands, kept his feet moving, elected to pick it up, scoop it, and score. Big-time play.
And that freshman quarterback, Joshua Keith, is going to learn from this one.
Yeah, he's running around with the ball like a loaf of bread. Sophomore, 33 picks it up, gets tackled from behind there.
So here is this Sexton automotive drive. Handoff Jackson. Jackson tries to bounce it around the outside. Brought down at the 4-yard line. On that, Hammers 1st and 10. So 2nd and goal. About the 4-yard line. And we've got a stop and play. And Clinton is going to take a timeout and talk about how to keep Oak Ridge out of the end zone. Oak Ridge knocking on the door in your OEB Law Game of the Week.
Here is Helen Hammer. Thank you, Mr. Walker.
A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low prices. Race on down!
Back to your OEB Law Game of the Week, also brought to you by Anderson County Mayor Terry Frank. Thanks Anderson County families for the honor of serving them as their mayor. And attorney Matt Tuck's office, located in Jackson Square in Oak Ridge. Matt specializes in criminal and civil defense. Thank you, Matt, for your support of high school football. And how about also Anderson County Commissioner Rick Meredith? He sponsored and supported high school sports for decades. We appreciate Rick's support of our program, and we know all of our listeners out there appreciate it as well. I said listeners, I mean viewers. You know, I mean, unless you turn it off or you're doing stuff while it's streaming, whatever. Also like to thank Regina Copeland, Anderson County trustee, big supporter of high school football across Anderson County. Thank you, Regina. And, of course, Congressman Chuck Fleischman. I like the graphic of Congressman Fleischman smiling, serving Morgan, Roane, and Anderson counties all the way back in 2010.
Second down for the Wildcats.
So here's Gibbons in that pistol set. Quick pitch out to the right goes to Jackson. Jackson trying to find running room on the boundary side of the field. Stop is made around the 3-yard line, and Oak Ridge will have a 3rd and goal.
Oak Ridge had the numbers game, but Clinton did a really good job of deflecting the blockers and making their way to the ball carrier. And Clinton so far is really challenging hard down here on the goal line. Been impressed with this defensive series so far. If they can hold tight here, they got to stay low on the defensive line.
Gibbons, handoff, Jackson. Jackson cuts to his left hard and is brought down at the 5-yard line.
That's a huge defensive stand so far for Oak Ridge, or for Clinton. They've swarmed to the football.
Trent Harrell's there to make the stop, as well as a few others. And we've got a 4th and goal from the 5 for Oak Ridge now. And Oak Ridge is going to line up and try the field goal.
Devin Monroe, the big defensive tackle, was who created that last play for Clinton. Very good job of that big man.
So Camden Malcody lines up, and that kick is true. So Malcody adds 3 points to the board, and Oak Ridge now leads this one 10-0 with 2:43 left to go in the first half.
You won this year's chili cook-off. Our girls played in the softball finals last spring. You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
He remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Jeff, Mary, Dan, Sarah.
2:43 left to go in your OEB Law Game of the Week first half. I don't want you to think this one's almost over, because it's not.
And Oak Ridge looks like they're going to do that same kick that they did earlier.
Yeah.
To about the 30-yard line. Last time, the defender or the catcher, the returner, didn't even have to move from the 30. It was such an excellent kick. So let's see what where he puts it here.
So here's Dunham for your Davis Funeral Home kickoff. Davis Funeral Home, of course, with 2 locations. And again, this time a fair catch is not called for, and it's Connor Moody with the football, running from left to right, gets it across there, and now we've got flags. We've got some extracurriculars. Boy, these players, this is a heated game.
Oh, yeah. This is one of the best rivalries. Used to be,
of course, with 2 locations.
Back in the day
and
in East Tennessee.
So someone you probably don't want catching that football is Connor Moody.
Well, he snuck in over there. He changed. He saw where they were kicking it earlier, and he swapped personnel. And
so we have a personal foul against Oak Ridge. So Moody got the ball up to the 36-yard line. And now 15 yards will be tacked onto that, which will put Clinton in Oak Ridge territory to begin this Sexton Automotive drive. They'll try to make this a Sexton Automotive drive to the end zone on Hammers 1st and 10. Keith has 2 wideouts to either side.
Every time Oak Ridge has sent pressure, they've had success.
Handoff goes up the middle. And for Clinton, getting the handoff this time is Reese King, a freshman on this team.
Reese King on the carry.
And King gains 4 yards. And quickly, here's Henry. Finds a man, and he goes backwards and loses the football out of bounds. For Clinton, that's Braylon Taylor, another freshman on this team. How hard is it for a freshman to run a hurry-up offense?
Extremely, but they have designed this, NASCAR is what I call it, to be a little more simpler so that these freshmen can communicate easier.
A loss on the play. Here's Keith. Pass is too high for his intended target. That time looked like he was going for Lucas. And now Clinton, essentially taking no time off the clock, faces a 4th and 8 and will have to punt this football away to Oak Ridge. And that's one of the issues with a hurry-up offense is now you give Oak Ridge an opportunity to run their version of the 2-minute offense.
And I can tell you Joe Gaddis is a master of time of possession.
And we've got another flag on the play. Boy, this one's been sloppy.
And I'm afraid, Aaron, that you're going to see this as a common trend in all of football this year, especially college football. Lack of practice, lack of live reps, guys missing football because of contact tracing, missing a lot of repetition in practice because of it. So I think it's going to be a common trend this year in 2020.
This one is just a sideline warning. Now both teams have received one.
Keep an eye on the punt.
And here it is.
Better.
And that one started as a spiral, then turned over, and ball is taken and picked up at the 20, but they're going to blow it dead, and they're going to call a penalty. So
I think he called a fair catch.
That's Preston Turner back there, and so we're wondering, did he call a fair catch? Because once you call a fair catch, you cannot touch it. We'll see if we can tell on the Jeff Cole replay.
Yep.
He did. He put that hand up.
He did it really fast, thinking he could get away with it.
Man, I'm telling you.
I like the effort, hey.
Yeah.
Aggressive.
If Turner doesn't try to call
he's
a fair
probably
catch,
scoring.
Yeah.
But if he wouldn't have called fair catch,
yeah.
Clinton defenders are coming on down the field.
And so Tim Shelton, your Anderson County Register of Deeds, is pulling a Joe Biden. He's saying, come on, man. Come on, man. Get that Tim Shelton touchdown. Come on, man. So essentially what you end up with is a delay of game penalty with Turner trying to run the football after calling a fair catch. And Oak Ridge will start this Sexton Automotive drive from about the 15-yard line. Jackson.
Good hurl over the Clinton defensive lineman. He is so athletic.
This is Jeff Cole replay. Yeah. Gracious. Clock continues to run under 140 left to play in this first half. Here is a quick pass complete over the middle, and that's complete to Jalen Hayward. And we've got another flag on the play, and this one around the original line of scrimmage along the sidelines, which is where most of the penalty flags have been thrown tonight.
Whew. Well, I'll tell you, it's been sloppy, but I'll tell you, what a great catch by Jalen Hayward, the 12th grader. 5'5", 140. Watch him. Boom. Right in the hands, and there is no making him drop that. 5'5", 140 pounds.
what's that route called?
Which one? Just a
Well,
quick slant route, looked like.
He ran 3 yards and then cut towards the inside, just a little slant.
Yep. And you never can go wrong with slants with speedsters like that. They can create so much separation so fast, and it's a go-to.
But Oak Ridge picks up the penalty, and so now you've got a 2nd and 13. Here's Gibbons. Toss and catch out to about the 15-yard line. Quickly tackled. And that one goes to Hayward, the freshman again, and a pickup of, let's say 6 yards will bring up 3rd and 7. Under a minute left to play, as now we've got about 45 seconds.
3rd down, Oak Ridge.
And so now with a 3rd and 7, Oak Ridge is all of a sudden not really in a hurry to snap this football.
Especially with the running back that they have, but keep an eye open for screen or draw here.
Clinton's backing up. Here's Jackson, just a straight handoff. Jackson, look how fast he gets upfield. Crosses the 35, crosses midfield, and now up to the 40, to the 30 of Clinton, and finally brought down with 10 seconds left to play.
Got to go hurry up.
Oak Ridge does have all 3 timeouts still yet remaining.
Look at that.
And Coach Gaddis will call one right here, but look at Jackson run.
Guys, if you're watching, this kid is legit.
So Oak Ridge will call a timeout with under 10 seconds left to play. And we would like to let you know that our broadcast tonight is brought to you by Ann Coria, Anderson County Public Defender. Ann was born and raised in Anderson County, graduated from Oak Ridge High School, in fact. Also, Jeff Cole, Anderson County Clerk. Jeff has 3 offices that serve the residents of Anderson County in Norris, Oak Ridge, and the Anderson County Courthouse. David Clark, Anderson County District Attorney General, proud supporter of high school football. We're glad to have him on tonight. Congressman Chuck Fleischman, big supporter of high school football, and our BBB Communications broadcast each week, has served Anderson County in Congress since 2011. Thank you, Congressman, for your tremendous support of high school football as we get it on television here at BBB TV. And how about one more? Rick Chin serves as the City of Oak Ridge Mayor Pro Tem. So thank you, Rick Chin, for your support as well. So we know Oak Ridge can kick a field goal here. Do you take a shot at the end zone and then line up for a field goal, or how do you run
with
this?
9 seconds is plenty enough time. You got 2 more timeouts. I would attempt it. You're up 10.
Gibbons drops back to pass, 3-step drop, fires towards the corner of the end zone and lays it out a little bit too far for Jalen Hayward. That pass ball's incomplete with 2.9 seconds left. So now
I'm kicking.
Yeah. Now I believe you're going to have to attempt the field goal if you feel confident enough in Malcody. The ball is spotted at the 15-yard line. That will make this one about a 32-yarder.
From the right hash, so it's not a give-me kick. But I tell you, Aaron, year in, year out, Oak Ridge focuses on special teams. They call it football for a reason.
Camden Malcody, there's the set. The kick is on the way, and it is short. It is just short, and that is how the first half will come to a close. The Clinton Dragons have been dominated in this series, playing with a lot of fire in their belly tonight. Trails this one 10-0. And Clinton will get the football to start the second half in your OEB Law Game of the Week.
And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the hot water wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do.
Feel the comforts of home with natural gas. Natural gas tankless water heaters cost almost 3 times less to operate annually than the electric models. Make the switch today.
Renai, hot water for all.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Here is Helen Hammer. Thank you, Mr. Walker.
A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low prices.
Race on down!
Presents Techno's 2000s, featuring the music of Daft Punk. Also musical selections by Hallelujah. Tonight's soloists are Claire Petersack and Colby Holbrook. The 2020 sponsors of the Clinton High School Band are Eiston Automotive, Rusty Wallace Chevrolet, Holston Gases of Jacksboro, Ruout Construction Company, and Jeeps Logos. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 2020 Clinton High School Marching Band.
Who all's working up there? Yeah? Good eggs are dead. We cut that off. There was freestanding. Yeah, there was. Had a rapids coming out. What's holding it up? The plugs. See, they don't go 10 feet into the wall. So what we're going to end up doing is I cut off plugs, get a even web, line it up right there, and then get anchor bolts. They got a whole parking lot across this road over there. There was nobody parked up there. But I almost went over there, but I almost went over there.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 Clinton High School Marching Band.
Hi, I'm Ray Varner, and we've got the vehicles you need to make the most of this season.
Whether you're exploring the great outdoors or cheering on your favorite team, let's take your fall to the next level. In a 2017 F-150 Crew Cab XLT 4x4, $38,990. 2020 Ford Escape Titanium All-Wheel Drive, $29,990. 2017 Subaru Outback Limited, $23,899. At Ray Varner Ford in Clinton, we are your East Tennessee Ford dealership. Come and see us today. Shop RayVarnerFord.com.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense.
Ask Griffin Insurance Agency in Kingston if auto owners make sense for you.
Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
1952. That's the year Hammers opened the first store in East Tennessee. Now there are 5 stores and there's always something new. Like in Hammers' popular ladies' boutique department, you'll find the lowest price possible on new arrivals every week. Find similar deals in the men's department and the expanded rug department. Plus, special purchases always offer surprise savings. You never know what you'll find next at Hammers.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
XL Bowman & Son, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Football is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the Hot Water Wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do.
Feel the comforts of home with natural gas. Natural gas tankless water heaters cost almost 3 times less to operate annually than the electric models. Make the switch today.
Renai, hot water for all.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
It is halftime in your OEB Law Game of the Week as Oak Ridge leads over Clinton by a score of 10-0. And we'd like to run down some more sponsors for you before we get into tonight's stats. Tim Shelton, Anderson County Register of Deeds, serving the citizens of Anderson County since 2002. Jeff Cole, Anderson County Clerk. Jeff has 3 offices that serve the residents of Anderson County and Norris, Oak Ridge, and the Anderson County Courthouse. Also, David Clark, the Anderson County District Attorney General, a proud supporter of high school football. Glad to have them on board with us. Regina Copeland, Anderson County Trustee, a big supporter of high school football across Anderson County. Thanks to you, Regina. Anderson County Mayor Terry Frank thanks Anderson County families for the honor of serving them as their mayor. Attorney Matt Tuck's office, located in Jackson Square in Oak Ridge. Matt specializes in criminal and civil defense. Thank you, Matt, for your support of high school football. And Anderson County Commissioner Rick Meredith has sponsored and supported high school sports for decades. We appreciate Rick's support of our program. All these Anderson County sponsors happy to get in to this Anderson County rivalry, which is turning into be quite the football game so far. Oak Ridge leads it by a score of 10-0. However, this game was scoreless until about 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter. And from there, Oak Ridge was able to put 10 on the board. As we look at our stats, first downs, Oak Ridge with just 6 tonight and 3 for Clinton. 126 rushing yards for Oak Ridge, just 17 for Clinton. Passing yards, 31. Total yards, 157 and 23. And Clinton does also have a turnover, a fumble from starting freshman quarterback Joshua Keith, and penalties, 16 penalties total in that first half for 110 yards. And as you look at the time of the possession, Oak Ridge has had the football for 14 minutes and 6 seconds to Clinton's 9 minutes and 54 seconds. So though Clinton is not moving the football all that much, as you see, they've only got 3 first downs and a total of 23 yards. They still had the football for 9 minutes and 54 seconds.
Yeah, really. The stats are the show tell here. 23 total yards for Clinton. That's the biggest reason they got that big goose egg up there. But field position, that whole first half, Oak Ridge had dominating field position and really should be winning more than 10 points. So Clinton's played tough defensively. They've played really tough up front. And Moody, the running back and linebacker, little do-all for Clinton, has really showed out here tonight. So Clinton's hanging tough.
We've seen a couple football games with a lot of penalties. We've seen a couple with your normal amount. And we saw a football game last week where you had a couple teams that played a pretty clean football game as far as penalties go. What is up with all these penalties in mid-season in the first half?
Well, I tell you, it's COVID-19 is what it is. It's lack of live repetitions in preseason, lack of camps, lack of 7-on-7s. Just general play, guys getting together in a weight room. Everything's limited by numbers. So 2020 is a weird year, and look for that to continue on into SEC football play, on into the playoffs. So you'll see that more and more and more. We've seen it all year long. It's been a common trend so far.
Now, you do have some scores of interest that you've looked up for us. What do you have for us?
Anderson County 34, Jefferson County 7 at the half. Rockwood 20, Harriman 2 at the half. Kingston 14, Stone Memorial 6 at the half. Maryville 14, Farragut 3 at the half. Cloudon 28, Sunbright 0.
All right. Could you give me that Harriman score again?
Harriman 2, Rockwood 20.
All right. I thought you were going to say it the other way, and then I was going to make a joke and say Rockwood 20, Harriman 2, what? But whatever. Anyway. So what have you see in the first half that stands out to you?
Just a lot of emotions riding high, players in each other's faces. It's a good classic high school football rivalry, but sloppy football from top to bottom. And that goes as far as even saying a little sloppiness from the coaching staffs as well, getting plays in, several delayed games. So emotions are riding high, and you've got a lot of early mistakes and, all the hamperings of COVID-19 that we've talked about multiple times here tonight. So look for these Oak Ridge athletes to really start taking over here in the second half, and Clinton to continue to try to get something going offensively. It's been a challenge so far for them to get anything rolling offensively. The young freshman quarterback is doing the best that he can right now with the limited knowledge that he has. It's just not a lot of guys open, not a lot of guys comfortable offensively here tonight. But defensively, Clinton has played a pretty good, sound football game so far.
So Clinton was expected to come in with a senior running back, Eli Deschome. Did start the season, but he was really expected to lead out of the backfield for this team, and they don't have him. And you've also got a first-year head coach here at Clinton trying to install his system, his way of doing things. I'll tell you what, with my opinion, and you may disagree with this, but Clinton doesn't look like it has a first-year head coach right now. These Dragons, although they're not winning right now, they're playing really tough, and it seems like they're playing for a coach that has been there for a couple of years.
Well, how many freshmen have we named tonight for Clinton? So, I mean, they're very young. He's playing a lot of younger players to build for the future. And I tell you, it starts with the quarterback position. His very own son, just watching him down here throw, he has some very good touch on the football. Once he grows into the position and on into a quarterback, he's going to dominate over here at Clinton. So they've got a lot of talent moving up, and they've got a really good coach who's leading the way. And look for some special things coming out of Clinton in a couple years.
And Keith is expected to be a prospect in 2022. So he's expected to grow into that position and be someone who could make it to the next level. And it's easy to see why. He's very athletic. You can tell he's young, especially on that fumble that he had. But he does seem like he will be a playmaker at some point for this team.
You watch him warming up. He's got a special touch on the ball. And he's a coach's son. He's going to be around the game all off-season. He's going to get that one-on-one instruction during the off-season. It's so vital at the quarterback position. I mean, most quarterbacks are coaches' sons because of how much they're around the game. And just look at that throw that he threw there on the sideline. He's got really good touch on the ball. So, yeah, the future's bright over here at Clinton. They can get this turned around. It's a dominant force over here in Anderson County with the likes of Anderson County High School, Oak Ridge High School, Clinton High School. There's a lot of good football over here, Aaron.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see what happens in this second half. If Clinton is going to try to erase this 10-0 deficit, how do they do it?
They're going to have to start moving the football, and it's probably going to have to be in the air and try to get some big runs with Moody. Once you get the defensive backs backed off a little bit, but the offensive line is going to have a hard time keeping the pressure off of the young quarterback, because anytime Oak Ridge has sent pressure, they've had success after the quarterback. So it's going to be a challenge for them all night, as they haven't had any success so far. Haven't seen any real productiveness out of the offense, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do, but I would imagine it's going to be through the air.
What do you think they got to do to try to open up this offense strategic-wise?
Well, you're limited right now with the freshman quarterback and various other youth throughout your offense, but I like his approach. They're running a lot of spread, a lot of speed option out of it with a very athletic quarterback that they have. It's just, it's a new system, so you can tell the players aren't totally comfortable with it yet, because it's a total change from what they were doing from before. They were running triple option 24/7. So it's a big change, and they will learn from it.
And you saw on that replay, that play right there resulted with Kendall Jackson going out of bounds and Wesley Phillips holding on to him for Clinton until Jackson went into a wall. That resulted in a lot of talk from the officials, and we ended up with 2 personal fouls and unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. But you see Oak Ridge has the playmakers, and that tackle from Connor Moody.
Yeah, Moody is a very good defender for the Clinton Dragons, and I like him at running back as well. As you can see, the Oak Ridge running back there just does some special things. You're talking about a guy that has, offers from D1 schools, Arizona State, Cincinnati, Eastern Kentucky, Tulane, and the University of Tennessee. So you're talking about Kendall Jackson here at Oak Ridge. He is the real deal guy, so keep an eye on him.
Tennessee, the first Power 5 school to get in there and offer Jackson. Do you think maybe that's a response to T. Higgins getting away?
Oh, absolutely. And they pretty much set up camp in T. Higgins' backyard. So, it wasn't like they didn't give it their all, and they had him committed there for a short while before electing to go to Clemson. But absolutely, you can't let guys from your backyard escape too much and expect to win a lot of football games. And that's one of the main contributing factors to Philip Fulmer's decline at Tennessee, was missing out a lot of key talent around East Tennessee.
Higgins in Cincinnati getting thrown passes by Joe Burrow now. for the 0-2 Bengals. As we set up for this Davis Funeral Home kickoff, Davis Funeral Home with 2 locations in Harriman and Wartburg. Go to davisfuneralhomes.com for more information.
You think it's going to the 30?
I don't know. This one is straight up in the air. The ball lands on the ground.
Oak Ridge.
It's a fumble.
They're going to fight over it right here. Oak Ridge ball.
And Oak Ridge is going to have it.
Oh.
And no. Wow.
The referees are.
Okay, so we're going to see this on the Matthew Tuck attorney at law replay. And it looked like Jacob Bervin caught this ball off a bounce, almost disastrous for Clinton, letting that ball hit the ground. And I think that's probably the strategy for Oak Ridge, kicking it that way.
Watch your bottom official here. He comes in and signals Oak Ridge ball.
Oh, that should have been Oak Ridge's football.
Yeah.
Look at that, Connor Moody.
It looks like the line judge overrode him because he supposedly had a better view, but
that play was
big
dead.
break for Clinton.
Connor Moody with a heady play to take that away. Now you got 3 wide receivers for Clinton on Hammers 1st and 10 to begin this Sexton Automotive drive. Tosses down. That pass is incomplete, hit the ground. His intended target that time, I'm trying to see the number there. It looked like Brandon Holyfield. Nope, that's actually Braylon Taylor.
If I'm not mistaken, another freshman.
Another
correct?
freshman.
Two
That's right.
freshmen, yep. Well, like we said, there's a lot of talent here. He's just 1 or 2 more bench presses for making that completion there.
2nd and 10 now.
Some confusion.
Pistol set and getting the handoff going up the middle. And that's Holyfield again. Oak Ridge makes a stop at the 34-yard line. A pickup of maybe 3 brings up a 3rd and long.
Really good block that time by Devin Monroe, the big junior offensive lineman, 6'2", 310 for Clinton. Oak Ridge sending pressure off the outside.
Yeah, and Keith makes the great decision to hang on to the football and not pitch it, and he's going to be really close to a Hammers 1st and 10.
On the stop.
Yeah, Jacob Bervin, the 11th grade 6-footer. Found out real quick that the quarterback's got some wiggle to him.
That's a great decision by Keith. And it does pick up the Hammers 1st and 10. Ball spotted at the 47-yard line of Clinton. And again, 2 wideouts to either side. Keith fakes the handoff, keeps it, and slips down. And he's cleaned up by Trey Rowe coming off the defensive end. That is a loss of, depending on where they spot it, ball spotted at the 43-yard line. That's a loss of 4, brings up 2nd and 14.
Yeah, he tried to plant with that inside foot. Again, that's a freshman mistake. You have got to plant with that outside foot, especially on a wet field. If you plant with that inside foot, you're bound to slip 90-something% of the time. So just to learn a mistake. He'll watch the game film here. He will be a better quarterback moving forward.
Joshua Keith takes a snap. Now, speed pitch. This goes to Holyfield. Holyfield makes some men miss before being tackled after a pickup of 5.
Quick speed option.
3rd down.
Electing to go with Holyfield to start this second half in the backfield is Clinton, as opposed to Moody. A big 3rd and 9, ball spotted at the 49-yard line of the Dragons. Keith gets the play from the sidelines. 3 wideouts to the left side of the field. And here is Keith under pressure, has to step up in the pocket, gets away, and is brought down at the 45-yard line.
Again, that's just a young high school quarterback there. Years to come, you'd like to see him throw that ball away. Don't take a big loss or an unnecessary fumble. But overall, very talented player. Now keep an eye on the snap and the punt. It's been a weak spot of the Clinton team so far.
Chase Golden set to kick, cannot handle the snap, and now he's going to tuck it and run. Brought down at the 35-yard line, and that's where Oak Ridge will take over with a Hammers 1st and 10 to begin their Sexton Automotive drive. And Jacob Burvin able to get the tackle in the backfield. Looked like he may have still had room to punt that football away if he would have immediately done it, but instead decided to tuck and run. And Burvin puts him on his bottom.
Very big mistake for the Clinton Dragons, giving Oak Ridge a big opportunity here.
Gibbons pitches out to Jackson. Jackson going up the left sideline.
Whew. Yeah, Clinton is fixing to get a heavy dose of Mr. Jackson. On the huge running hole on the outside off tackle.
It was hard to see from up here, like exactly where that ball went out of bounds, but you could tell on that attorney Matt Tuck replay that he was just shy of the first down. We're talking inches here. So pistol set, H-back to the right of Gibbons. Handoff goes that way to Jackson. Jackson met in the hole and brought down as he crosses the 25-yard line. Gets down to about the 23. However, that's enough for a Hammers 1st and 10. And Jackson was met, it looked like maybe behind the line of scrimmage, but Jackson able to keep those legs churning to pick up about 3 yards. Gibbons drops back to pass. Fade route, goes to the end zone. That pass falls incomplete, trying to get Jonathan Stewart that time. Pass falls incomplete.
They had the matchup they liked, but really good coverage by the defender. Bumped into him a little bit here, and I heard some Oak Ridge fans wanting a flag on it, but it wasn't needed.
On the coverage there for Clinton was Redaven Truss. Do you think that was good defense?
Yeah, that was good defense. It was a penalty wasn't called, so I would definitely call that good defense.
Gibbons. Quick pitch to the right, goes to Jackson. Jackson cuts back to the middle of the field. He's going to keep going and stopped at the 1. He had a lead blocker that wasn't trying to block. Ooh, I tell you, that's a missed opportunity. That should have been a touchdown. You see this? You'll see this on the attorney Matt Tuck replay. Jackson, look at that. That's Cordero Patterson like. Cuts it back to the middle, and then look. He's saying, "Come on, I got
and
you."
And he misses his block.
No, you don't. You don't have him, Jonathan Stewart.
Yeah, he'll see that on the
pitch out to the right, goes to Jackson. Jackson fighting, like trying to get into the end zone on this Hammers 1st and goal.
Really good job defensively by Clinton there, stuff in the middle, not allowing him to punch that in.
Stopped by the center of the Dragon line.
Really good job there.
Yeah, Jackson unable to get in, so we'll have a 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Gibbons typically operates out of a shotgun or pistol formation, so handoff Jackson. No, he faked it and did a quarterback dive. And Gibbons gets into the end zone. It is a Tim Shelton touchdown. Tim Shelton is your Anderson County Register of Deeds. And Oak Ridge puts 6 more up. And now the score is 16-0 pending a point after attempt.
Big number 66, Robert Hill, the 6'5", 290-pound senior offensive lineman. Did a really good job that time getting a very strong block on the Clinton defender.
So Camden Malcody stepped up to attempt that extra point, and Clinton jumped off sides. So they'll move the football half the distance to the goal. And Malcody will line up and try again.
Malcody once again for the point after attempt.
That kick is up, and it is true. So now Oak Ridge leads it 17-0 with 6:23 left to go in the third quarter here at Clinton City Field.
Football is back. And OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacles blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
I gotta go shower.
Back to our OEB Law Game of the Week as we get set for a Davis Funeral Home kickoff. The Wildcats lead in this Anderson County rivalry 17-0. So here is Oak Ridge again. It's Tyler Dunham. Steps up and does just a little pooch kick here. And this almost resulted in Oak Ridge getting a turnover. This one is very high. And a fair catch is called for and bobbled and dropped. And there's a fight for it.
They had an inadvertent whistle. That's very unfortunate.
Who came up with the fumble? Who came up with the football?
Looks as if it was Clinton.
Ooh. All right, so, yeah. A fair catch is called for and not made, but the whistle blew.
Number 15 looks like he came up with it from Clinton. Very, very fortunate for Clinton. Lucky break.
So this Sexton Automotive drive begins at the 32-yard line. As here's Keith. Handoff goes up the middle. And this is Hollyfield again. And there's a flag on the play. As we have our official.
And I must
an illegal
say,
shift.
I'm digging his handlebar mustache.
Let's say it looks like Hulkamania out there.
Waiting for him to rip his shirt off.
Brother. We got a penalty, brother.
Yeah. Let's see what Clinton elects to do here. I mean, this is very unfavorable field position. First and forever. You haven't had a lot of success with plays down the field, so you're going to be counting on a lot of speed options.
Joshua Keith takes a snap and then quickly gets it out to a wide receiver, and a yard or two picked up on that one. And pass is complete to Braylon Taylor.
Braylon Taylor on the reception for Keith.
No flags on the play. They're not going to give him anything, so we'll have a 2nd and 15.
Easy pitch and catch. Build the confidence of the quarterback. Have a little bit of success. Maybe it'll spread.
And Clinton, like they've been all night, in a no-huddle offense. Keith drops back. Two-step drop. Lets it fly. Passes up for grabs and then flies out of bounds. Trying to get Jeremiah Blovelt.
Pass intended for Jeremiah Blové. Incomplete.
Oh, that's a French name. That's Blové.
What's his height? He is
yeah, he's 6'4".
Wide receiver.
Yeah. A junior on this team. That brings up 3rd and 15. As right now, Clinton will send 3 wideouts to the left. I'm not even going to say it. You know what's going on. Dead ball, false start on Clinton. Backs dragging up 5 more yards.
Yeah, I'd like to revisit the comment. She said they ain't playing like a team that with a new head football coach because they are definitely doing that now. Second half's been a whole new ball game.
Yeah, it's not going well.
No, it isn't. 3rd and forever.
10 seconds on the play clock. Keith gets the play, gets the snap, drops out, and BAM!
Yeah. If you're going to throw to your check down, you have got to get rid of it quicker than that because those linebackers see him squeaking out of the backfield, and they're going to go head hunting there in that situation.
I believe that was Reese King, and he got blasted.
You'll see here he's open now. He held it too long. The linebacker was able to cover ground and laid the big hit.
And that was Reese King, and King was obliterated.
By Brian Kelly, the 10th grader, 5'11", 180 pounds. Very good-looking linebacker for the Oak Ridge Wildcats. Good to see number 26 hop up, jog off the field. He's going to have a very bright future here at Clinton.
I believe he got the air knocked out of him pretty hard.
Fair assessment.
But again, you're talking about another freshman on this Clinton team that's getting some PT, so
take your lumps this year, and next year will be a new year.
Clinton.
And it looks like they may have changed punters here.
They do. It's Trent Harrell back there now. And this punt is away, a wobbly spiral. And having to run back and catch it is Preston Turner, but Turner does, and he's got an opportunity for a return here. Gets it to the 30, now up to the 20, and finally brought down inside the 15-yard line. And you're happy about that because Turner did not let that football touch the ground.
Yeah, that's a big pet peeve of mine and any coach, really, if you see returner not catch the ball in the air. He did a lot better job holding on to the football and getting a good punt. It was just a little lower, which unfortunately for Clinton gave Preston Turner a heck of a return there. Good job catching the ball, not letting it go over his head and roll forever. Good job, heads-up play.
Turner, a senior on this team, knows what to do with the ball in his hands. And Jackson is stuffed as this Sexton Automotive drive begins with already Oak Ridge inside the red zone. So big Hammers 1st and 10 stop there for Clinton.
And I tell you, this has been the easiest game to call if you're an Oak Ridge offensive coordinator. You have had field position the entire night. Watch for a pitch.
Mitchell Gibbons quickly fires the ball out to his wide receiver or tight end. I believe coming from that tight end position was Trey Rowe. Actually, that was Jabrice Taylor.
Number 12 came up, made a really secure tackle there for Clinton. I'd like to see him keep his head up a little bit more, but overall good job. Now, if you're Oak Ridge, I see a one-on-one opportunity up top.
Gibbons sends a man in motion.
There it is.
And a quick slant play is played beautifully as that pass falls incomplete. Look at this attorney Matt Tuck replay. Oh, it was actually batted up.
Yeah,
it was
really
tipped.
Good job by him. What number is that? Couldn't tell. Great job. Heads up play.
Looked like coming up from a linebacker position.
I'm pretty sure he saved a touchdown there.
Oh, that was our guy. Yeah, that's Connor Moody.
I tell you, he has been all over the field for this Clinton Dragon football team.
So Camden Malcody will attempt a field goal from 27 yards out, and it is good. So now Oak Ridge extends its lead by 3. The Wildcats have a 20-0 advantage with 2:30 left to go in the third quarter.
I gotta go shower. It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the Hot Water Wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do.
Feel the comforts of home with natural gas. Natural gas tankless water heaters cost almost 3 times less to operate annually than the electric models. Make the switch today.
Renai, hot water for all.
Welcome back to your OEB Law Game of the Week. Camden Malcody punches one in with his leg to put 3 more points up on the board for Oak Ridge. And now we await a Davis Funeral Homes kickoff.
And I tell you, number 31 for Clinton had better catch this football if they kick it to him.
Tyler Dunham has handled place kicking duties all night for this Oak Ridge Wildcat team. Just takes 2 steps and kicks it directly straight up into the air.
Should be aiming for the 30-yard line to the 40-yard line again. There it is. Excellent kick again.
Beautiful. And that is dropped, and this time it is recovered, but you cannot advance. You cannot advance a muffed kick.
Well, I tell you, I'd like to see some adjustments out of Clinton there. They've done that all night long, and they've not really made an adjustment with their return team at all, and
this
still
time
making mistakes. It's the same mistake as before.
This time it was Rodaven Truss. Looked like it hit him right in the face mask. And so this Sexton Automotive drive will begin at the Clinton 39-yard line for Oak Ridge. That is the 3rd kickoff in a row that was not handled cleanly by Clinton. Have a Hammers 1st and 10 for Oak Ridge. Gibbons again operates out of the pistol set. 2 wideouts to his left and H-back to his right. Sends him in motion. Quick pitch out to the left, goes to Jackson. Jackson's right in the backfield and dropped.
Looks like number 20 for Clinton flying in there, making a great tackle. Sold his body to make a play.
And that is Cole Todora. As we see on the attorney Matt Tuck replay. Wow.
That's called wanting it. That's called wanting it more. That's excellent.
So Cole Adams was back there, unable to secure that block, as we now are under 2 minutes left to play in the third quarter. A loss of 5 will make it 2nd and 15. Gibbons, high snap, but secures it. Now goes deep, and no one was home. Trying to hit Jonathan Stewart there, but there might have been miscommunication, and now we've got a flag, and I think it might have been for taunting. And if that is for taunting, and that is on Clinton, that is a really, really dumb penalty, because there would have been a 1st and 10. However, I don't know. Because the official had a conversation with Coach Gaddis. We have an unsportsmanlike conduct on Clinton. And that is a 15-yard penalty, and that will be enough for a Hammers 1st and 10. So Oak Ridge was going to have a 3rd and long. Wow. So, and it was just mouthing. That's all it was. It looked like there was some talk on the Oak Ridge bench, and it looked like Rodaven Truss responded to that talk, and he was right beside the official, and the official threw a flag.
But, if you're going to talk, make sure that you catch the ball. You don't want to drop it and turn the ball over and then trash talk. So, they got to fix that over here in Clinton. But I tell you, the new coaching staff's got their hands full, but they will turn this program around.
So Hammers first and 10. And now we've got another stop and play. Somebody's getting tossed. It's hard to tell what's going on. All right. So I believe we had a fan thrown out. And okay. Emotions high, not only on the field, apparently in the stands as well. And now we've got another stop and play as the officials are writing in a booklet.
Yeah, anytime you remove somebody from the game, you have to take some pretty good notes because there's going to be a bunch of reports coming. And I do not envy the job that these referees have with all the emotions of today's world and everything else that's going on. It's a hard enough job as is. So it's easy to set up here with replay and the eye of the eagle up here to be able to see what they're missing at all times. But if anybody feels like they can do it better, I tell you, there's plenty of applications and a big need for referees if you're out there listening and needing a part-time job, because these guys have a hard job and a thankless job, and it's a very important part of this game, and we need referees.
Back to play. Gibbons hands off to Jackson. Jackson met at the line of scrimmage and dropped again.
Jackson on the carry. Woodruff with the Dragon Macklers.
Looks like another flag.
I think it is. I don't see it. I'm looking for it. But we definitely do.
Sideline?
It's a sideline warning.
It's their second one. So it's a 5-yard penalty.
And that's a sideline penalty on Clinton?
Yeah, they're going to have to tighten up over here on this sideline and get that corrected. Pretty easy correction is to control your sideline. Really good job that time by the Clinton defenders swarming to the football and keeping number 1 Kendall Jackson from breaking something there.
All right, so after the penalty, it's a 2nd and 6. Gibbons, quick pass, and that's complete. Goes to Stewart, and Stewart is tackled.
Got to wrap up over there at the cornerback position. Good job reading the play coming up, and great second effort. His knees never touched. Kept driving forward to pick up the first down.
Hammers 1st and 10. Ball is spotted inside the 20. We'll give him the 17. Gibbons again in the pistol set. 2 wideouts to the far side. Now a man sends a motion, gets the handoff. That is for Oak Ridge. Looks like Jalen Hayward. And Hayward is dropped after a short pickup.
Clinton linebackers doing a really good job flowing to the football again.
It is a pickup of 1, brings up 2nd and 9. As Oak Ridge has entered the red zone again. Under 30 seconds left to play in this third quarter. Handoff, Jackson. Jackson gets inside the 15, and the And the ball is stripped away.
It was stripped, Moody.
And Moody has it, and Clinton will take over with 8.5 seconds left to play in the third quarter.
Coach about took him out, son.
What a huge play by Connor Moody, and all of a sudden everyone is dead. They've been lulled to sleep because of these penalties, and now
Heads
some life.
up play here by Moody. Watch him strip that ball. He's still gaining forward. Strips that ball, takes off.
I'll be honest,
play.
I have no idea how he stripped that football out. It didn't look like he had.
Watch the biggest hit of the game so far right here. Oh! Yeah, I think Moody's saying, hold off on them cheeseburgers, Coach.
All right, this Sexton Automotive drive starts with a Hammers 1st and 10. Ball is spotted at the 16-yard line. Keith drops back to pass, lets it fly across the middle. It's
it is caught. That is
and
caught.
Then it's caught.
What a reception by an outstanding young freshman wide receiver. And
Braylon Taylor, and we have another flag.
Great throw, great heads-up play to secure that catch.
And it was tipped. It was tipped by Jacob Bervin. They're going to give him that catch.
They should give it to him.
It might have touched the ground. I don't care. It was a great effort. They should give it to him. Unsportsmanlike conduct, and this one is going against Oak Ridge. So after that big pickup from Clinton, another 15 yards will be tacked on to it. And we'll have 2.3 seconds left to play in the third quarter in a game that feels like it's been going on since the Bush administration. Once the ball is set, the clock will run and the third quarter will come to a close. But Clinton has entered Oak Ridge territory. The ball is spotted at the Wildcat 38-yard line. And that's how the third quarter will come to a close. So, Clinton down 3 scores, has new life and some momentum to begin the final quarter of this game in our OEB Law Game of the Week.
Evans Mortuary has been
serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
And welcome back into the OEB Law Game of the Week. We want to say thank you to Anderson County Mayor Terry Frank, and he wants to say thank you to Anderson County families for the honor of serving them as their mayor. Also, Ann Coria, Anderson County Public Defender. Oh, my goodness. I said Ann Frank, didn't I? So, Terry Frank, Anderson County Mayor. Gracious. I don't know. It's been one of those nights. Sorry about that, Mayor Terry Frank. She thanks all of Anderson County families for the honor of serving them as mayor as Clinton starts this this Sexton Automotive drive from the 48. Here it is, Hammers 1st and 10, and Keith takes off, and he's tackled for a loss of 2 at midfield. Getting him is Brian Kelly.
I guarantee you that quarterback coach that was just whispering in his ear was telling him, throw the ball away. You don't want to take a loss there. You don't want to see your quarterback scrambling outside like that. Potential turnovers and various other things. So pretty good learning experience this ball game is going to be. A heck of a first start for him, correct, against Oak Ridge.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big testament. Confusion for the Clinton offense. Play clock down to 3.
Hollyfield gets the carry this time. Gets up to about the original line of scrimmage and Clinton will be in a 3rd and long situation.
Got a score update. Anderson County 48, Jefferson County 7.
OEB Law likes helping out high schools, and we'll let you know how in just a moment as Joshua Keith takes the snap and completes his pass, but going the wrong direction for Anderson County, or I'm sorry, for Clinton, is Wesley Phillips. So OEB Law, like we said, likes to help out high schools and donates a $1,000 check each week during Rivalry Thursday and during our games on Friday nights to a high school club or student that best exemplifies school spirit. As you see, Darrell Kelly, the first-year head coach here at Clinton, there on your right, with Tim Elrod there on your left of OEB Law. And also the Clinton athletic director as well. And now Clinton will be in punt formation, unable to convert that 3rd down. And here's a punt. It's a long one. Bounces and dies at the 17-yard line, and it just died.
Another score of interest. Midway 20, Tellico Plains 6. In the 3rd. Roane County, Kingston 21, Stone Memorial 28 in the 3rd quarter.
Oh, wow.
Big comeback for Stone Memorial.
Yeah, Kingston was up in that game 21-6, I believe. So this Sexton Automotive drive will begin at the 18-yard line for Oak Ridge with a Hammers 1st and 10. Gibbons, pistol set again, handoff. Nope, quick pitch goes out to Jackson. Kendall Jackson tries to make the outside and does, and I think he was running so fast that he tripped himself up. I don't know that
his shoulder's hurting right now. Looks like a potential slight dislocation there. I hope not. We'll be keeping him in our prayers.
Ooh, it might be.
Yeah, far too familiar with that than I'd like to be. But does a good job on a little quick stiff arm. Ooh, he falls on that arm in that awkward position there, and that is not good. Late here in the 4th quarter, up 30-0, and you potentially lose your best player in this entire stadium tonight.
Now Jabrice Taylor is in there at tailback, and Taylor is brought down with violence. And that time Trent Harrell gets him.
Trent did a great job selling his body out to make the stop in the backfield. Very good job by the Clinton defense.
A loss on the play will bring up 3rd and 6.
3rd down for the Wildcats.
Plenty of time in this game if Clinton can get a stop here and figure out something on offense. Gibbons in the pistol set, takes a snap, tries to fire it over the middle, looking for Jalen Hayward. That pass falls incomplete. So now we've got a 4th and 6, as we see on the attorney Matt Tuck replay. Some contact there with Moody.
And Moody saying, hey, they didn't throw a flag, so that's not interference. I like him. He's a good-looking ball player.
And now Oak Ridge again lining up with their 2 punters. This punt is high and wobbly. Lands at the 47-yard line of Clinton and rolls all the way back to the 39. And that's where the Dragons will begin this next Sexton Automotive drive.
Really good rugby-style kick. They kind of run it to the outside and they put 2 punters back there to try to confuse you a little bit. And that's terrible to see. Kendall Jackson over there laying down and probably having his shoulder reset on the sidelines. That's truly unfortunate, and if that is the case, that he had a dislocated shoulder, he's probably going to miss some time. But the good thing is he's still young and has a very bright future ahead of him.
So Hammers 1st and 10 for Joshua Keith. Sends a man in motion, takes a snap, rolls to his right, lets it go, and that pass goes through the hands of his intended target, Wesley Phillips.
Yeah, there's no excuse for that. If it hits you in the hands as a wide receiver, that's your job to catch the ball. But going back to the injury on Kendall Jackson, you know, people always blame injuries to contact sports. As you've seen there on that replay, there was no contact. He just fell, and it dislocated potentially. So, you know, there's a lot of freak accidents out there that take place on the football field.
So Clinton has Holyfield in the backfield with Keith. Keith fakes the handoff, and that pass is batted up into the air, incomplete. Getting his big paws on it was Jackson Adams.
Yeah, the Oak Ridge defensive line is really able to get upfield and get their hands up because they realize the only thing that Clinton has been able to do offensively is throw short routes, little quick seam routes, and just getting the ball out of their hands as quickly as possible, and a basic running game. So Oak Ridge has stayed basic all night on their defense, sent pressure very few times, just sitting back and playing defense.
3rd and 10 here for Keith. Takes the snap. Oh, and slips and falls.
He slips and falls at the Dragon 31.
Tackled by number Brown, Mudd.
Oak Ridge sent 5. Clinton had 6 blocking. Should have had numbers and won that battle, but broken assignments up front and led to another sack.
Trent Harrell back deep to punt for Clinton, back deep to receive for Oak Ridge. His Turner muffed it. And Oak Ridge falls on it, and that's Matthew Swigert. And Oak Ridge is fortunate that time letting the ball hit the ground, as we see on the attorney Matt Tuck replay. And that's Preston Turner is a senior. You don't really expect him. He's been in that position for years. You don't expect him to make a mistake like that, but credit Swigert for being alert and able to recover that.
So we're going to get a good dose of the running game here, and then they elect to throw.
Hammers 1st and 10 to start the Sexton on-motive drive, and pass is complete. It goes out to Cole Adams, and Adams picks up, looks like 13 yards, and that's enough for another Hammers 1st and 10. And we're going to have a neutral zone infraction on Clinton.
Yeah, as a defensive line coach, that's something that used to drive me insane. You're lined up on the line of scrimmage, and the football is literally right in front of your face. So watch it.
Yeah.
Do not move until it moves.
Well, you say that, and jumping off sides that time was Gavin Bollinger, and he's the nose tackle.
Yeah.
So he's literally on top of the football.
Yeah. No excuse. You do not keep your eye on the offensive lineman. Look at the ball.
Gibbons fakes a handoff and throws it out. Somebody get the license plate number. That's Wesley Phillips.
Wesley Phillips drops his for a loss.
Oh, man, even the mouthpiece flying out of the helmet.
Attorney Matt Tuck might get a phone call after that one.
That's a big hit now. Like I said, Clinton has been playing some defense.
2nd and 9 for Gibbons. Handoff goes up the middle and finding some running room before being jerked down. is Jabrice Taylor.
You ain't going to sneak away from Moody from Clinton. I'll tell you that right now. If he gets his hands on you, you're coming down. I like this kid. He's all over the field for Clinton. Good to see him giving 110%, 100% of the time, all the way to the end. See here, it could have potentially been a face mask against Oak Ridge. Running back, you can stiff arm, but if you get that hand on that face mask of that defender, that is a face mask.
Pick up a 5, brings up a 3rd and 4 for Gibbons. Gibbons, quick drop, pass is complete. This one goes out to Brandon Hayward, and Hayward is tackled around the 20-yard line. That's enough for a Hammers 1st and 10. And now we have, you guessed it, a penalty flag.
That's unfortunate for Oak Ridge, but it looks like they're going to flag Brandon Hayward, the 9th grader, for signaling 1st down there.
Gracious.
Good move. Get upfield. Good catch. Good 1st down.
All right, so
let's back it on up here a little. Again.
Dead ball and sportsmanlike conduct on Oak Ridge. But it's a dead ball foul. So it occurred after the play, and a 1st down was achieved. So you will have another Hammers 1st and 10.
I believe we're sitting around like 23 to 24 penalties so far in this ball game, which is more than I think I've ever seen. That's a lot. Moody coming up field.
And Taylor gets the pitch, and Taylor's brought down in the backfield for a loss of about 6. We'll bring up 2nd and very long. Under 5 minutes left to play in this game.
And Moody coming in off the edge there, making him bounce inside, made the play.
Moody with the initial contact, then joined by a host of Dragons.
We'll bring up 2nd and 16 now. This is one of those games where I think both of these teams want to get out of here alive.
Yes.
Gibbons drops back to pass. Has a man there. That pass is complete on a slant pattern. And that's Brandon Hayward again. And Hayward picks up big yardage. And that's enough to move the chains. Brings up a Hammers 1st and 10.
Again, Moody in on the tackle. Way down the field.
He's down at the 26-yard line.
Yep. And the defensive, the cornerbacks for Clinton are going to have to, I know they're intimidated by the speed a little bit, but you're going to have to close the ground a little bit on that one-on-one coverage.
Gibbons pistol sent again. Goes upfield. And another pass is complete, and the ball's on the ground.
Let's see who comes up with it. The fight is on.
Bit on the bottom of some of those piles.
Looks like Oak Ridge. Big old offensive lineman coming up with it.
That's Vinny West.
He's a hoss now.
Yeah, he's a senior and another one of those players that might have the opportunity to play on Saturdays.
6 foot 250, decent size.
And that's Preston Turner. And, again,
Moody in on the play again.
And Turner puts it on the ground again. You don't expect to see that from Preston Turner. Handoff. Wow. Straight up the middle is Jabrice Taylor, and that is a Tim Shelton touchdown, Oak Ridge.
With what looks to be another penalty.
Is there? Is there?
Of course. Was it a potential face mask? Holding.
And then we've got a horse collar.
Against the Dragons, that'll be enforced on the kickoff.
Wait, he called that on Oak Ridge.
No, he was saying enforced on the kickoff.
Oh, okay.
Anyway. Really good blocking that time by the offensive line of Oak Ridge, and let your speedster do the rest. Very good, talented senior running back that they have there.
And Malcody's extra point goes through. So now Oak Ridge is pitching the shutout. The Wildcats now lead this one 27-0.
Hi, I'm Ray Varner, and we've got the vehicles you need to make the most of this season.
Whether you're exploring the great outdoors or cheering on your favorite team, let's take your fall to the next level. In a 2017 F-150 Crew Cab XLT 4x4, $38,990. 2020 Ford Escape Titanium All-Wheel Drive, $29,990. 2017 Subaru Outback Limited, $23,899. At Ray Varner Ford in Clinton, we are your East Tennessee Ford dealership. Come and see us today. Shop RayVarnerFord.com.
Back at the OEB Law Game of the Week, as the officials mark off that horse collar penalty. That's a 15-yarder assessed on the kickoff. And I don't think that's going to affect Oak Ridge's strategy, as, again, they send Tyler Dunham out to do this Davis Funeral Home kickoff. So Ann Coria is the Anderson County Public Defender. Ann was born and raised in Anderson County, graduated from Oak Ridge High School. She's got to be loving this one. We thank her for her support tonight. And David Clark is the Anderson County District Attorney General, proud to support high school football as we get ready for our Davis Funeral Home kickoff.
Watch this very carefully. Could be landing on about the 10-yard line, and Clinton has not caught one very often.
This one not as long. And again, the ball is on the ground.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
And Oak Ridge has recovered, and it's Jacob Burvin again. Burvin should have had the last one. And now we've got another flag.
Yeah, if you're Clinton's coaching staff, you've got to be pulling your hair out. But you got to be mad at yourself, too, because you haven't made an adjustment yet to what Oak Ridge is doing with the short kick. So, pretty rough. It's about the fourth time that this has happened for Oak Ridge. So Clinton has got to see that and make an adjustment.
Yeah.
Nothing special here. Just adjust your kickoff return team a little bit, and you'll have some success catching this ball.
So combined time of possession for Clinton and Oak Ridge in this game is 25 minutes and 10 seconds. I'm sorry, 45 minutes and 10 seconds. And officials' time of possession is 45 minutes, so the officials have had the ball longer than both of these teams combined. So they're winning the time of possession game.
Oh, absolutely. It's not even close. It's been sloppy. It's one of the sloppiest games I've seen in the last 5 years, probably.
It's been very sloppy.
No, okay. He's just giving him his flag back. I wish he would have just kept it for a while.
This penalty goes against Clinton, and so Oak Ridge is able to start their Sexton Automotive drive just outside the 10-yard line. Like the 10 and I don't know.
New quarterback in for Oak Ridge, Hayden Tarwater.
And Jabrice Taylor gets the carry up the middle, gets it to the 6-yard line on the Hammers 1st and 10.
Hayden is a 10th grader, 5'10", 150 pounds, plays quarterback and defensive back for this Oak Ridge Wildcat team. Sure his family is excited to see him get some repetition in there. Think he's got a very bright future as well in this program under Joe Gaddis.
Well, Gibbons is a senior, so the Oak Ridge Wildcats will have to replace their starting quarterback next season. Handoff goes to Taylor. Taylor keeps those legs driving, gets inside the 4, down to about the 3. It'll be third down. As we see on the attorney Matt Tuck replay.
Clinton defensive line just stood straight up, drove off the ball a little bit, but the Clinton linebackers rallied to the football.
And we got another flag. Under 2 minutes left to play in this one, which, given the penalties, we got a delay of game on Oak Ridge. That's a 5-yard penalty. They got under 2 minutes of play left, but given the penalties, we're probably going to be here for another 30 minutes before this one ends. So keep it tuned in with us.
What a great football game this is going to be moving forward with these two coaches. Once Clinton gets a good understanding of the system and what their new head football coach's expectations are, this could be a very potent rivalry moving forward in the future.
It could be, and keep in mind also, we've seen a lot of young players tonight, freshmen in fact, for Clinton. So Tarwater now lining up in the pistol set. He's got Trey Rowe behind him. Tarwater's going to have the opportunity to throw this football, and he's going to be sacked. He's tackled around the 20. And it looks like Jackson West is there. And, of course, Connor Moody.
Good job that time by Clinton getting pressure with only sending 4. That's basically what you call a coverage sack. Good job.
So it's going to be third and long, and we've got a timeout with just 1:06 left to play in this football game. Rick Chin currently serves as the City of Oak Ridge Mayor Pro Tem, and he is sponsoring this game tonight. Regina Copeland, Anderson County trustee, who is a big supporter of high school football across Anderson County, is also sponsoring our football game tonight. So thank you, Regina. Anderson County Mayor Terry Frank thanks Anderson County families for the honor of serving them as their mayor. Attorney Matt Tuck's office is located in Jackson Square in Oak Ridge. Matt specializes in criminal and civil defense. Thank you, Matt, for your support of high school football, as you've seen Matt Tuck replays tonight. Anderson County Commissioner Rick Meredith has sponsored and supported high school sports for decades, and we certainly appreciate Rick's support of our program. And we don't want to leave out Congressman Chuck Fleischman, a big supporter of high school football and our BBB Communications broadcast each week, has served Anderson County in Congress since 2011. Thank you, Congressman, for your tremendous support. And on 4th and long, Oak Ridge is going to send out Efrain Rodriguez.
And it's good.
That kick is good.
I tell you, Oak Ridge has kickers for days, guys.
That is a 31-yard, or actually longer than that. That's about a 34-yard field goal, and it's true for Rodriguez.
Now let's see if Clinton can field this kickoff return.
Yeah.
Are they going to make any adjustments here? It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, Clinton, when they go back and they watch when Clinton goes back and watches the film on this, they're going to kick themselves.
Yeah, the adjustment they've made is they've walked up their second returner about 10 yards, 5 yards around the numbers. So he's sitting around the 20-yard line, 15-yard line.
How good is Tyler Dunham at these Davis Funeral Home kickoffs?
Very talented kicker. He has placed it accurate all night long on these kickoffs. I expect the same thing here. Clinton has got to secure this catch. They haven't.
And here it is.
He called fair catch.
And made it cleanly. And it's amazing to me that the ball has hit the ground as many times as it has tonight. You've had some muffed kicks.
Yeah.
But how many times did that ball hit the ground off that kickoff?
Way too many.
Way too many.
Well, you're talking of a swing of 14 points there easily.
Yeah.
Probably more than that. So, that's something that you have got to get on the game film and teach these kids. Say, hey, if we keep doing that, we're not going to win. We have got to limit these mistakes, mental mistakes, and beating ourselves, and make some adjustments as a coaching staff on the fly when you see that.
So this Sexton Automotive drive will begin at the 37-yard line. Sexton Automotive located on the Turnpike in Oak Ridge. And here is Keith, and he's sacked in the backfield.
Started with a low snap from the center. He had to bend over to get it. He never made up. Oak Ridge was able to get pressure by only sending 4. And Clinton had 6.
And that's Joseph Morgan getting the tackle. Big junior coming from that defensive line position.
Yeah, you don't like that when you're getting pressure by sending 4 and you're holding in 6 blockers to block that 4, and those 4 are winning.
Yeah.
That's not good.
So Keith fakes the hand. No, he doesn't.
Good run.
Yeah, that's Holyfield. Gets up to the 35-yard line. And we will have a timeout.
Good hole, good block. 10 seconds left.
And apparently the Wildcats want to talk about it with 10 seconds left. Coach Gaddis is going to get another victory in this game. He's had a lot of success in this series. In fact,
Joe Gaddis over there coaching these guys up real good, giving them a lesson on discipline. Keep your mouth shut. When this game's over, we're going to get our helmets on and shake hands or do whatever it is that he's wanting.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yep. Keep it classy. You don't want to have no other player ejected for next week.
Coach Joe Gaddis is 16-2 in this series as Keith throws an interception on the last play of this game, and that goes to Jonathan Stewart, and Stewart has 6 on the brain, and he gets in for a touchdown, but there is a flag at the 25-yard line of Clinton. So Jonathan Stewart picks the pass off and returns it for a touchdown, as we see on this attorney Matt
Watch
Tuck
number
replay.
7 here for Oak Ridge.
Oh.
That was on them. Yep.
And the penalty flag has been wiped off. That's surprising.
I'm assuming they counted that as a touchdown. They waved a flag.
The officials are running off the field.
Yeah.
This game is over. They called a touchdown, so your final score here, and it's not being reflected on the scoreboard yet, but the final score is 36-0.
36-0, a big win for the Oak Ridge Wildcats in a very strange game over here in Clinton, Tennessee.
Yeah, so Tim Shelton, it's a Tim Shelton touchdown to end the ball game. The very last play of the game, that's an exciting way to end the game.
So, yeah, 26 penalties.
And we end the night with 26 penalties between the two teams. That's
26 penalties.
It has been
some kind of record.
Yeah, This is one that we'll remember for the wrong
And
reasons.
what a way to end the game. No shaking hands, no nothing. Just run off the field and get ready for next week.
Of course, some of that is COVID-related, as we see on the Attorney Matt Tuck replay. If somebody is going to pick off a pass, if you're the opposing team, you don't want it to be Jonathan Stewart, and he just shows you why.
Yeah, he's such a talent.
And then there's the call saying that it's a touchdown. So your final score
36 to nothing.
is 36 to nothing. So, whew, man. Not exactly what I expected.
No, it's probably one of the sloppiest games, like I said, I've seen in the last 5 years. But what a place to have a game over here in Clinton, Tennessee. Very rich tradition over here. I believe they went to a state championship back in the early 90s. Had 14 wins. It's actually my grandfather coached over here for a couple years in the late 80s and got a win over Oak Ridge. So this is a deep-rooted tradition place over here, and there's a lot of pride in Clinton. And I look for Clinton to bounce back over the next few years and get back to where they were at. I remember when they had Rodney Ellison as offensive coordinator over here back in the 2014, 15, 16 years. And they were putting up numbers over here at the quarterback position that was just unheard of. So look for them to come back with that here shortly. And Oak Ridge, Joe Gaddis, look at him rallying his troops, correcting mistakes, getting after him. You're talking a coach that's got 30-plus years of experience up there and a state championship. He's a high-quality, high-character guy. So he's making corrections right now. And both of these teams need to watch a lot of film over the next week and correct their mistakes and really limit the penalties moving forward if they want to advance as a football team.
Yeah, Clinton, you talked about the storied past that this program has. They do have a state runner-up from 1992 and an overall record of 432, 414, and 22. So a winning record after playing over 800 games. Ooh. So your final stats for tonight, Clinton with 4 first downs. They had 3 at the end of the first half, so only picking up 1 in the second half to Oak Ridge's 13 rushing yards. 0 net rushing yards for Clinton and only 8 passing yards. I'll let you do the quick math on that. If you have 0 rushing yards and 8 passing yards, how many total do you have?
8, which you might as well say none.
Yeah.
I tell you, that's one of the most abysmal performances offensively that I think I've ever seen in a high school football game.
It was rough. It was very rough.
I tell you, I don't think I can name another one.
Yeah. Oak Ridge, of course, finished this tonight with 285 total yards. The 3 turnovers for Clinton is why this one really got out of hand, because you remember at the end of the first half, the score was 10-0, and Clinton received the football to start the second half. Penalties, 16 for Clinton for 105 yards, 10 for Oak Ridge for 90 yards. That's 26 total for 195 yards.
How many of those was declined?
That's a good point.
You know, there was a bunch of those that was declined.
Yeah,
I'm talking 8. So, you know, abysmal performance with that side of the ball game, and you can't win football games like that. And if you don't get that corrected now, which they should be corrected midway through the season here, it's going to be a long season for the Clinton Dragons. And this coaching staff's got to roll their sleeves up and really get to it.
Yeah, and Oak Ridge has to clean that up too. 10 penalties for 90 yards.
Yeah, that's too much.
It is, especially
for Oak Ridge.
Yeah, and in the tough region that both of these teams play in. So Oak Ridge comes in, gets the win tonight. Joe Gaddis moves to 17-2 all-time versus Clinton. So pretty good record for him at Clinton City Field here. So I tell you what, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. We'll send it back to the station and give you the 5-Star Preps Friday night scoreboard show. And that's with David Queener and Jonathan Cox. And we'll remind you, next week we've got a good one lined up for you. Oneida at Rockwood.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, that will be a fun one to watch.
Better tune in, guys, because I tell you right now, there's going to be some slobber knocking going on in that one.
Yeah, if you like hard-fought, 3-yard and a cloud of dust football. You'll see it there.
Another thing that you will see is you should see disciplined football in that game.
Yeah, I guarantee it. So that'll be a real fun one. Join us next week for that one. For Brad Jones and the staff here at BBB TV, James Gibson, I'm Aaron Harvey. Thank you. We hope you enjoyed this one. Have a good night, folks.
A part of this year's football season, school spirit is at an all-time high. OEB Law is proud to give back and support our community. Come cheer on these great teams with us. And remember, if you've been injured or need legal help, OEB Law will be there for you. So visit wreckintoacheck.com or give us a call, 865-546-1111, and let OEB Law turn your wreck into a check.
I gotta go shower.
It's laundry night.
Dishwasher needs to run.
And the hot water wars. A Renai tankless water heater gives you an endless supply of hot water for everything you need to do.
Feel the comforts of home with natural gas. Natural gas tankless water heaters cost almost 3 times less to operate annually than the electric models. Make the switch today.
Renai, hot water for all.
I'm Ray Varner, and we've got the vehicles you need to make the most of this season.
Whether you're exploring the great outdoors or cheering on your favorite team, let's take your fall to the next level. In a 2017 F-150 Crew Cab XLT 4x4, $38,990. 2020 Ford Escape Titanium All-Wheel Drive, $29,990. 2017 Subaru Outback Limited, $23,899. At Ray Varner Ford in Clinton, we are your East Tennessee Ford dealership. Come and see us today. Shop RayVarnerFord.com.
I am a Simplicity dealer. This business is my life, my career. If you need a new mower, I'll help you choose the model that will make your property look its very best, and even let you take a test drive. When it does need service, you can rely on my factory service training and genuine parts. Because I don't just sell products, I build relationships. I am a Simplicity dealer.
S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Evans Mortuary has been serving the needs of families in and around Roane County since 1976. As established members of our hometown community, we understand the security of dealing with people you know you can trust. We build our reputation on this trust. The Evans family appreciates the confidence the community has expressed in us over the years and will constantly strive to earn that favor. Evans Mortuary, 805 North Gateway.
The Harriman Utility Board is committed to providing safe and reliable natural gas service to our customers in Harriman and Roane County through the use of safe operational procedures with trained and knowledgeable personnel. An odorant is added to natural gas and maintained to a certain level so that in the event of a gas leak it can be easily detected. If you smell or suspect a natural gas leak, please call the Harriman Utility Board at 882-3242. We can be reached 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Here is Helen Hammer. Thank you, Mr. Walker.
A lot of years have passed since that TV ad. Hammer stores are still offering up-to-the-minute fashions for men and women, famous label outdoor wear and boots, area rugs, and exciting purchases. All at Hammer's famous low prices.
Race on down!
Planning a funeral can be difficult at best, but it can be a lot easier if you work with people who care.
That's Davis Funeral Home in Harriman and Wartburg. Davis Funeral Home gives attention to every detail, ensuring your loved ones will be remembered with honor and integrity. Davis Funeral Home works very hard to give you the most professional service possible. Davis Funeral Homes, Morgan Avenue in Harriman and Old Mill Road in Wartburg. Davis